FearFishing Experiment. live right here on the FearFishing Experiment.
Tonight on the FearFishing Experiment.
Hopefully,
we're back in studio.
with any luck at all, this is going to work. Find out how I became the FearFishing champ. And then find out how I lost the belt.
We got brand new product from Daiwa. This and so much more coming up on the FearFishing Experiment.
Report suspicious activities and call 911 for immediate response. Expect delays, searches of personal property, and restricted access to public buildings. Expect traffic delays and restrictions.
Man, on a smallmouth bass.
Hold that up. Shot. Oh my gosh, that's a big fish.
You know what? It turned out into like cinematic genius. So it's just beautiful.
The idea is just keep rolling.
Navigating your way on and off the water. Now, here's your host, Ian West.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Ian West. It has been a haul to get here. Finally, we are live in the studio once again.
Woohoo!
Hopefully, everything is working. We tried this 2 weeks ago, and catastrophic fail.
Yes, it was.
It just totally didn't
pumped,
work.
too.
We were so jazzed
From
to
here
do this.
to there.
To do this. At like 10 after 8, I realized this wasn't happening.
It was like going fishing with me. You're up here when you start, and then you get halfway through the day, and it's just
It's looking worse and worse, eh? All kinds of confidence, and then excuses.
right.
What's up, guys?
Not much. Been working now. I'm back to work too now. So
You should introduce
doing
yourself.
that.
It's been so long.
Mark Hunter from beautiful Bowmanville, Ontario.
Woo.
Yeah.
I'm Amber Phillip from Port Hope. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear anything.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You can't hear us talk?
Barely.
Huh. Maybe Woody will work
Woody?
on
I
that
should probably just take off my headphones.
until we get it working.
Woody's
Just
on.
put one on. Woody will get on it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Yeah. Mine are a little low, too, if you want to crank my ears up, too, there, Mr. Woody.
Sure.
Sean.
I'm Sean McCall from Curtis, Ontario.
Yeah.
Nice. And behind the operations tonight, you got a camera back there? There he is.
I am, yeah.
The Dark Man.
The Dark Man.
The Dark Man.
The monkey pressing the buttons.
Woody, you've been up to a lot lately.
Yeah, I've
Let's
had
dive in. Let's just start the show off with some motivation.
some motivation. I got a ton of projects on the go. Work at home. Cabin enough.
Working out, too.
Yeah, working out.
Looking good, Woody.
Looking good.
Yeah.
This is the thin Woody.
Trying to shed some LBs.
Some
How
LB.
many LBs have you shed?
I'm at 48 pounds down right now.
That's
Attaboy.
unbelievable.
That's
That's
pretty
awesome.
And just from
That's
riding
like
your
a-
bike, right?
That's like a grade 6 or something. You lost a whole
Shut
kid.
up, kid.
Started out doing some epic walks, and then when it got warmer, I started riding my bike, and now my legs and thighs are absolute monsters. I'll show you during the break.
And you got you got a fat tire bike.
I did. I got a Trek fat tire bike, and I love it.
That's awesome.
It's killer.
It's done wonders, man. You look really good.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do another 70 pounds.
No way.
Wow.
What?
That's Amber.
And you had a big birthday too, did you?
Yeah, happy 40th birthday.
Yeah, well, unofficially. I didn't celebrate it this year because of COVID. But
So you're going
He's
to be
40
40
next
again?
year.
Next year?
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to 39 one more year and do a big
Happy 39th
We-
birthday.
That's
We can get away with that?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same.
During COVID
Yeah.
times?
Yeah.
You're going to do 40 again?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 38. I got years of spare.
When you're
No
my
big
age,
deal.
it doesn't matter.
No.
Attack another one.
What are you, 61 this year?
Something like that, yeah.
I had a birthday that just passed. Not
Yeah,
too
you
long
did.
ago.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't even make it to sundown.
I didn't even make it.
Do you remember that night?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah, you remember Jimmy.
Yeah,
He's in
yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, I smashed a bottle of straight Jim Beam.
Nice.
That
Cherry-
red
right off the
stag
bat.
or whatever.
Yeah,
red
yeah.
stag
Yeah, Red Stag cherry bourbon.
in my pool.
Yeah.
And you know what? He never got out once to pee.
Oh.
But you know what? He has permission. He worked hard for that pool
I got a
too.
fantastic story about that,
Yeah,
actually.
Okay, give me 1 second. Anybody who's listening, Sean and Amber are watching the IM board. Get in on the conversation. Be a part of the action. and you're going to want to comment about this story because I already heard it once. Go.
All right, so it was my birthday a couple weeks ago, and Mark Hunter, he just got a new backyard, so like the pool, deck, the whole deal.
Like not just a pool and a deck, but like a ginormous
A
deck.
resort.
A resort.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We got rid of the trailer after 13 years, right? We've been there. We've done our
Yeah.
thing, so we got rid of it. I took the trailer up to Hunt Camp.
Yeah.
Filled it up to Dave's place, the Ponderosa. And
You got it there?
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, no way. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's there. And, just sold, the toys, the sunroom and all that, and put it in the backyard instead, reclaimed the backyard.
Yeah, so we ended up throwing this little bender a few weeks ago, and I was in the pool and I was feeling pretty good, and I hopped on Mark's back and I said, "We're gonna play rodeo." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm gonna start peeing. And you got 7 seconds to get me off your back," and I started peeing.
You know what? Pre-COVID, Sean, I would have been able to fling him off. He was like 195 pounds, but this COVID, Sean's like 275. So he's a lot to get off your back.
Yeah, I'm a beast now.
He's ahead of the game.
I'm a beast now. I'm loving it. I don't have a fat tire bike, but I got some thunder thighs, I'll tell you.
Thunder thighs.
I wrapped them right around him.
Yeah, you
Hashtag
did.
thunder
Yeah, you
thighs.
did.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it was warming.
Warming.
Mike C wants to know how the Swan's doing.
I hate the swan.
What's one?
I have this gigantic blow-up floaty swan,
Yeah.
and it's got to be 10 feet around, and it's in my pool,
Really?
and it floats around in the pool.
Yeah, that's
If
all
it's
it
not in
does?
the pool, it's on the deck. Yeah, Hannah loves this swan. She just laid.
That's
on it.
funny.
And I'm not a big fan.
Have you guys been using the pool lately? A lot
We
of people
haven't.
get pools
We
and they don't
haven't.
use them
Oh
as
no,
much.
we've been using it.
How's the hot tub?
Good.
Yeah?
We've been using that too.
You
Turned
turned
that
it
right
down?
down, didn't you?
I turned it down, but the girls turned it up again.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They can do the hot, eh?
I guess they like it.
That was
Yeah.
another great adventure we went on, eh? The
Yeah,
old, 5 o'clock. Hey, where do we have to go for that hot tub again?
What was that place called?
It was far.
Kitchener.
Yeah, Kitchener.
Wow.
Yeah. Kitchener.
It was
Yeah.
a haul.
Yeah, there's 5 hours. I'll
Big
never
shout
get
out to
back.
Chris McDonald that lent me his trailer. It worked
Nice.
out perfect.
That's super awesome.
We had that hot tub loaded in under 12 minutes.
Really?
Like
Carried it
from
from
where
the
it
backyard.
sat out of with the guy's gazebo, and then
Oh, you bought it used?
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A plug and play used.
Yeah, nice.
We
You're
can
lucky to
convert it.
find one.
Yeah, I know. Well, we couldn't find one. That's why we got a used one.
Yeah.
And it's only 9 months old, so
That's
Nothing
super
wrong
awesome.
with that.
No.
They're upgrading?
They're crazy money, eh? If you could find one, the
Yeah.
hot tubs are crazy money.
Yeah.
yeah,
Insane.
but you can convert it to like the 240 after, right? It's all totally convertible.
Yeah, it's the wiring that
yeah,
you
yeah.
just have to switch, which is so expensive.
I know. That's why we're not doing that yet.
But anyway, I peed on Mark's back in the pool.
Yeah, you did.
Give your guys talk for a second.
Nate has asked how much you're loving interacting with customers.
I'm loving it so much. Does that work?
Yeah.
You know what it was?
No.
Unplugged.
Wow.
Yeah, I just happened to look over the edge of the table and I noticed there was an earphone set just dangling there.
Well, thank you.
I love the job at East Hill. I can't tell you how many people have come in and mentioned the vlog and the podcast and everything else. Well, just got to give that dog a little zoom.
Did you just shock her? Or give
No,
her a
I
beep?
just gave her a
Give her
beep.
a beep.
Yeah.
She knows to stop after the beep.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
shock's coming if she doesn't.
Yeah. Thanks to Garmin for hooking me up with that.
Yeah, Casey hates it. Look at it. Show them.
Yeah, she
Show
tried to
them what
eat
she
it.
did.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Looks
The
like it
dog
tastes
hates it
good.
so much. She tried to eat it, but because it's Garmin, it still works.
I wonder how many times she stopped herself.
I don't know. I often wonder how many times I shock her while we're walking in my pocket when she's twitching.
I've seen her do that.
Don't worry, folks. I got to turn down low. The job is amazing. I can't thank enough for the people who've been coming in. It's overwhelming how I didn't. So here, let's be honest. Let's get deep. I knew that fear fishing was reaching people, right? And that we were, on my end of things, it doesn't always seem like we're reaching as many as
You
maybe
don't get
we
the feedback.
right? You don't run into people every day who are a fan of fear fishing. At East Hill, after the first 2 weeks, I was overwhelmed with how many people I met who really appreciate what we do. Like, I mean, really, really appreciate. And then I thought, well, maybe that's the end of it. This is like almost 2 months in, and there's still people I'm meeting every day who watch fear fishing. A lovely couple drove from Hamilton the other day to buy their Daiwa stuff. from East Hill so that they could, chat and find out what the goodies were. And
That's awesome.
shout out to Momo, who keeps skipping work in Vaughan to drive to East Hill Outdoors to hang out and spend too much. Shout out to Momo. I like that guy.
Yeah, just busted him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome. It's I really, really like it. I like the atmosphere. We have a lot going on at East Hill. The only downside right now, and it's not just our store, fishing is running out of products.
Yes, I heard that.
Like spy baits today. Guys were fighting over spy baits. I promise you, I'd love to get 500 more.
Talking about spy
Zero.
baits, we got a question from Mike Isrick on Facebook. He asked, "What's the best setup for using a spy bait? Rod length, line. What rod length and line? Also, what's the best way to use it? Just starting to get into them.
I've never used one before.
I've used a spy bait.
You
For
casted
one cast.
One cast.
You know what? I spy baited.
Is that the one that we cut your line? Was that
Yeah.
when we were up north?
No, we were on Balsam Lake, and I
Oh.
told Ian, I said,
Yeah,
I got
this is a
spy
great
bait.
story.
I'm going to whack him on a spy bait.
Oh,
today."
he like
I
rubbed
tied
it
this thing
in.
up.
I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
him untie it. I know how much it cost. I know where he got it from.
Yeah.
The whole,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the story.
he's gonna pound them. He's gonna change our life. The
Yeah.
classic is one. As soon as
Yeah.
he gets this, he
It's
makes.
on.
So you tied braid to a fluorocarbon leader. Don't do this at home, especially not light fluorocarbon.
Don't do this at home.
Sean winds her up and snap, right, and it goes 5 miles.
Oh, yeah. It's
Right, and I looked at him.
and it's a sinker.
Right? It's well over a $25 bait. I looked at him. I was like, well, at least it cast far.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I spy baited like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, like when it was big. When
Yeah.
it came out there. I got me a couple. I don't know if I did it right or anything. I never caught anything, but I didn't,
I will
I
tell
didn't
you-
really give it a chance either.
I got a clubby this Saturday out of Wapoose, which is Lake Ontario, and I'm going to get some spy baits tomorrow from work if there's any left.
Well, I'll tell you about the spy bait thing. I had a chance this past Saturday to go out on Lake Simcoe with a true Simcoe hammer, Phil Haggerty.
Oh yeah.
And that is one of his go-to baits. He loves throwing the spy bait. That's his thing.
Short rod?
He uses a long rod for it because he casts it a mile.
Mile.
And really with the smallies in the clear water,
You got to get away from the
that's
boat.
That's what you want to do. All of our fish that day, like we didn't see anything and make it go. All of our fish came from out of sight.
Way out.
You know what I mean? We'd see something, maybe we'd back off, or we'd be making those long casts into those pockets. But Phil uses a long rod, light fluorocarbon leader, but a long leader, and make sure this is key. I just got into this knot in the last few weeks here, the FG knot. It's not the easiest knot to tie. There's a lot to it. It takes some practice. Like I've spent hours just tying and retying, and you really gotta watch the videos and cinch this thing down properly. But that knot right there for a braid to fluorocarbon leader is the most amazing knot, line to line knot that I've ever used. I haven't got it caught once in my guides. Like I'm using a
Oh, I got you.
15-foot
Yeah.
lead. I haven't, like on a bait caster as well, bait caster and spinning reel. I haven't got it caught once in the guides. Or do I have a problem with it coming into the bait caster? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It comes through that T-wing, no problem. Casts out of that T-wing, no problem. I haven't had it catch once. It's an awesome, awesome, awesome knot. But you got to really, really pay attention to the knot all the way through. There's a lot to it. But that's, the spy bait, long rod, long leader, cast it a
Good
mile.
tip. I've got a 7.3 Chronos, Daiwa Chronos rod in the other room with a 3,000 Tatua that I'm going to put the spy bait on.
Yeah.
A little longer, real
yeah.
light rod, like it'll cast a small bait a
You'll hook
country
that a
mile.
mile.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
Yeah.
search bait.
So sorry, I'm putting.
Would you say it's a search bait, or would you say it's a bait that you throw once you know you're?
Well, it's a chuck and wind bait. You know what I mean?
But it's slow,
it's
right?
slow. It's slow. It's not like
Yeah.
you're covering a ton of water.
It's like a
but you're
marabou
still-
jig kind of deal,
Yeah.
just a little bigger.
Yeah, it's not like you're dragging a tube or you're throwing
yeah.
a drop shot,
Yeah.
right?
I'm getting a box storage organizer for my truck. You know,
like a sliding one,
like
Yeah,
that
a
slides out.
slidey.
I got so
Yeah.
much stuff that I got to tote around, and it's always in my back seat. So
Yeah, it is.
The good folks at R&J Tire were just texting me, letting me know what it is.
Are you getting that whole big slide out thing?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's in the bed of your truck, right?
Yeah.
I got another.
Yeah, I got it. I like there's so much. I'm concerned about people stealing stuff, right? And we have such big plans for the fall that I really, as soon as it's in there, I can lock it and then lock the tailgate, and they can't get into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you smash the cap,
You're not
you
getting
can't get into it because you can't get the tailgate open.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got another question on Facebook.
Fire away.
From Sue Ellen Fraser. She asked, "Why did you pour your Rockstar into the bass's mouth?"
So here, interesting story. The Rockstar clots up the fish. I'm telling you. So and I know exactly what fish. So we did that club tournament.
Yeah.
Cast it into the weed, into the lowy pads. Fish missed it, and I was with a young guy, and I was like, "Watch, he's gonna drill it." And I let it sit there, and I waited about 15 seconds, and I gave it one pop, and the fish absolutely annihilated it. So when I got him to the boat, he had hooked himself like deep. And actually, when I pulled the hook out, I actually cut one of his gills.
Mm-hmm.
Like one was loose. And so by time, the first thing I did was.
Like the actual gill was
cut him.
severed on
Yeah.
one end?
Yeah. So I threw the fish right in the live well, right? And I told the young man that I was with to get a Rockstar, right? And he thought I was joking. When I opened that cooler lid, the water was red. I grabbed the fish, I poured half a thing of Rockstar down his thing, and I was like, you watch it. It clotted up so fast, and I released that fish at 3 o'clock with no issues. That fish was absolutely fine. That, if not the healthiest fish in the live well, it didn't seem to bother him at all.
What time did you catch that fish?
10 after 7. First fish I caught all
First
day.
fish all day. So
Jason-
it was in your
And he,
live well
like,
all day.
All day.
Fine.
And at 3 o'clock when I released him, I showed, I'm not sure which one, I showed somebody in the club, and I was like, that's how well it works. So the young lad didn't, like, he was like, holy jumping. Like, the fish clotted in my hands. Like, and I threw him in the live well, I gave him some G juice, and he was fine in there. And I checked him all day long, and I was, like, I thought it was bad enough that Scotty Walton was going to eat it for me, right?
See, Jason Barnus a few weeks ago, he posted a video of I think it was some scientist that did a survey on pouring the pop in the
I
fish.
think I read that one.
Right, and the guy was like, yeah, but you don't know, like, it may work for a few seconds, and then
Yeah.
you let the fish go, but you're not seeing the fish in 10 minutes from now. But I've actually seen it on the boat.
Yeah.
Like, we've done it a couple
Yeah.
times.
Oh, I've done it a
and-
bunch of
and-
times
and-
too.
and
100%.
We've kept these fish in the live well. We've
That
weighed
fish
them in
did 8
and
hours in the live well.
and let them go, and I've seen it work. But a severed gill, that's
It was caught. If I would have had it, I should have. I didn't realize when I reached in where the hook was. If I would have realized where it was, I'd have just cut the hook on the frog. It was my bad. I didn't realize. All I could see was it down deep, and I got the pliers on it, but I didn't think it was that deep. It was my bad I would have just cut the hook and thrown the frog out. But he lived. Like when I let him go, he was fine, and I had him. I probably hooked him. He was the first or second fish of the day. At the latest, it was 7:15 when I hooked him, and I probably released him at 10-4, and he was fine.
Wow. There you go.
So if he made it that long,
Proof's
and
in the
fish are resilient, right? Like even, he'll be fine.
Whoa, the fish are not smallmouth are not,
Are not
resilient.
resilient.
Well,
no.
no,
You look
not
at those
as
things and they
not
die.
as a largemouth. Yeah, right. But if you think about like nature, that like there's probably tons of fish who hurt their gills, right, and they survive. They're like, think of how many big bucks walk around for 3 years with a broadhead in their shoulder.
Yeah, they've
Do you know what I mean? Like
they've got this thing called will to live.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
And like nature will find a way, right? Like I did hook one pretty deep, and I just cut the hook off, right?
Mm-hmm.
That fish will spit that hook.
Sure it will.
Did
was
you not
watching
see like a
video
crazy
yesterday.
picture? Who caught the fish in the Elite Series with the Alabama rig in its mouth? Matt Herring? Did you see that?
I didn't see that. No.
I seen that.
Landed the fish
Yeah.
and had a full Alabama rig
yeah.
that it broke off,
Yeah.
and then ate a worm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he landed it, pulled the Alabama rig out, showed everybody that he caught it on a worm,
I
and
can't
then
remember who it was.
it was Matt Herring. I believe it.
I was watching a video last night on YouTube, and the guy caught a fish, and it actually had the hook coming out of his anus.
Yeah.
He's like, look at this. There was the line, and then the fish was starting to pass the actual hook.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like
crazy.
nature is quite a bit tougher than humans,
That wouldn't be nice.
right? Or you'd get nuked, right? Well, think about how many fish must swallow a rock bass and jab those spikes into their gills.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because when you're in the
Yeah.
inside, the gills are totally
crawfish or
crawfish,
right.
right? or even a frog, like a frog in there fighting away and punching at your gill plate. As long as you give them the best opportunity, they'll heal up and they'll continue on. Look how many bass you catch that their mouth's all messed up and they're still finding a way to eat stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of that comes from piercing call tags that are now a thing of the past.
For sure.
I got a pretty good question from Mike Schuler here, and I think what he's talking about is tournaments. He says bass weights in a majority of Ontario lakes are down, especially the Kawartha lakes. What are your thoughts and why?
I don't know.
It's nice to be average.
What's the cycle? What's the life cycle of a bass? Like, how many years does it take for them to grow? Was there a bad year?
Forever.
Yeah. So I've told this story 100 times.
20 years ago, there was a bad year?
No. I caught a fish once in Brighton Bay that was 5'6". It had a Queen's University tag in its back fin. We called the number in. They told me that 2 years previous, the fish had been weighed in the Big Bass Champs tournament in Belleville. So he'd been dragged all the way to Belleville and made it back to at the time of the weigh-in, they figured he was 4'9", and he was 12 years old. So when I caught him, he was 14 years old.
Wow.
That's an old fish.
That's an old
4'9" to 5'6", you said?
Yeah, almost a pound over 2 years.
Yep.
Right? Like that's the...
I did see something the other day about how old bass are, and it's very slow.
Shocking.
It's very slow.
Well, we got the cold season, right? The cold season really screws them up. I've seen where they've aged them. They actually dissect the spine, and when they dissect the spine, it looks like tree rings.
Yeah,
it's the same kind of deal, and that's how they tell, because it goes into that cold cycle and the bone gets denser.
Yep.
Right, so it actually changes color,
so
and you can tell.
That's why we don't get record fish.
You can count the rings in a bass to see how old it is.
If you
how do they age
dissect
them
the
in
spine.
hot areas?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Ask
I
him.
know.
Just ask.
Firing minds. Just ask it. I got lots of questions.
Yeah, fire them away. We got
Jim
so much
J
to talk
wants
about.
to know if anyone's using Garmin Live Scope.
I am, and I'm using it on perspective mode.
And that means?
It's amazing. It's awesome. Super helpful on finding fish. When I was so Lake Ontario is where we went opening day. Me and Matt Hill, who I met at East Hill Outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
Who I actually met at a boat ramp after you did that with him.
So super nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
We went out for the day. He'd never caught more than 5 bass in a day, and his biggest fish was like in the 3s. And I was like, I'll take you opening day, and I'll blow your mind. He caught more fish than he could like.
That's the guy who beat cancer, right?
Yeah.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Super
I met him
great guy.
At race like Harris Boatworks.
Amazing. Super nice guy. And so Mercer just put all his Garmin units on his boat for him.
Nice.
What were we doing? What were we talking about?
Garmin Live Scope.
So on the perspective mode, so there were some bass on beds. I could see the beds and coming up to them, so I didn't have to bust them.
And you still only weighed 10 pounds?
Where? That day?
No, 9 pounds. Was it 9 pounds?
On Lake Ontario?
No. They
when you were with us.
24 and change for their top
No, when
5?
you were with us.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't.
Doesn't do anything for those lakes?
No, 9 and change.
Well,
we'll get to that in a second.
Fishing shallow, it's a different.
It's
deal.
a little. It's a little different. You can see where the weed edges are and what's going on this way. It's kind of like Humminbird 360, but in real time this way. It's super cool to show you all the structure, and but it won't show you fish on a lake that's got no fish. We're gonna talk about that in a minute because I went on that website and I can tell you why that lake sucks.
Oh yeah,
because they've all been eaten. I saw pictures on the website of like 5 and 6 5-pounders on like a board getting ready for the fillet station.
This is actually something I wanted to talk about tonight. I wrote it down and because I was talking with Brian today up on Lake Potash and Brian owns Anchorage Bay, one of the resorts. Anchorage Resort, yeah. And we were talking about it. He's like, you know what, Sean? He says the lake is just not what it used to be, and he's like, you want to know the problem? He's like, people have found this lake, and it's not like tournament anglers have found this lake, because tournament anglers have always known about that lake. Mm-hmm. He's like, people are coming up here renting these cottages and telling their friends, and they're all coming up here fishing. And the conservation is just not there. Well, they're keeping those 3, 4, 5 pound fish.
So if a 5'6" is 14 years old, a 3.5's got to be 8.
Oh yeah.
I would think so.
Right. So I think, and especially like where we did the second, we're gonna get into the belt here in a bit. But where we did the second event, that lake's not big enough to kill every 5-pounder in the lake and then have them surge themselves.
No,
right?
not at
Like
all.
it's not.
Not at
that
all.
lake doesn't even have enough good structure on it to have that many.
See, and this is what I think the ministry should actually do. They should have a course, just like you have a hunter safety course. They should have a fishing conservation course.
Yeah.
It should be mandatory, right? It should be I don't know, $35, $50.
Yeah.
You know, a portion of it would have to go to the instructor, right? And then the rest of it would go to the licensing. It would help raise more money for the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, right?
Well, yeah, and even if they couldn't enforce that, there's honestly there should be government websites where you can go and get them. Like, how do you get?
But the biggest problem is ignorance. And I'll tell you. Before I got into tournament fishing, okay, I've got a picture of me with a 6-pound smallie, 22 inches on my wall, standing in the front foyer of my house. Where do you think that 6-pounder went? Right to my buddy. Here you go. I brought you a meal. But I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
We've
talked about this many a
It was ignorance. I didn't know it.
And
There was a
maybe like
conservation course.
like yeah, you're right. And like, where do you get that information?
Right, through a conservation course before you're allowed to get your license. You got to show that you got your conservation ticket. You get a little stamp or something, just like we have an H1, H2 on our hunter's cards, right? You can hunt with the bow, you can hunt with a gun.
They got rid of that.
Did they?
Yeah, which is really odd to me. But I called and they said they got rid of that because I wanted to tell them my PAL came, right, just to be on the safe side, and they said I didn't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, because now to get a PAL or get a right or firearm, you got to show.
So here's an interesting
I'm
thing.
still waiting for mine.
Here's an interesting
They just
thing.
don't give it to you.
Yeah,
because you're crazy.
This comes right up perfectly. I sent Amber a link the other day. You can get your hunter's course online right now.
Really?
You can do it all online, and you can be bow hunting this fall. I wonder if they could have like an online program for fishing that you have to like a proof of you've completion.
That's kind of like getting your boat license online, right?
Yeah, right.
You know,
It'd be really hard to try to get everybody who wanted to fish into a classroom before they went fishing.
Yeah.
No, you can't do it.
yeah,
in a
but
classroom.
maybe
it's got to
online-
be online.
Maybe you
Online
just
would
had
be-
yeah.
But you got to get into a classroom for your firearms. So if you want it bad enough, you're going to get into that classroom,
Yep.
right? It's how bad you want it, and if they make it mandatory, it's going to have to happen. It is what it is. But yeah, I totally see you could get something like a conservation thing online, but there's nothing like being in classroom.
No, for sure. And we like firsthand look. I went on the website of the resort, and they've just killed their stock of brutes.
Really?
Yeah, straight up. Like it's really sad, and it must happen all the
At a
time.
resort?
So there's a resort there
Limerick.
that has a lot of tourists come, and they had pictures of the old pegboards where you hang them by their gills to take a picture of all your limit. But you can't do that on a lake that isn't got.
You would think that those resorts would push
Push that,
conservation,
Yeah.
But I
because they
think
want to
that
save their fishery.
I think that the resort at hand has probably got old school way of thinking. Being there and seeing how things were run, right? It's probably like, well, that's a great 6-pounder, eat it. There didn't seem to be a lot of catch and release. And when we were out on the lake, I talked to a gentleman whose dock I fished on the way by, and he was very adamant that all the big fish got released, which is a smart move on that lake because there isn't a ton of fish in that lake. It's not like how I thought it'd
I
be.
know.
It was a struggle.
It was terrible.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how we inform the public because obviously if you're not a hardcore angler, you're not watching tonight. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like if you're not really into fishing or were in fishing before, there's probably not a whole lot of viewers right now who are thinking about getting their fishing license.
That's why they have to make it a mandatory thing with the fishing license to force the conservation aspect.
Do you remember when like Azumi back in the day? Like I can remember when Azumi started the catch and release. Like when I first started hearing about catch and release, like it was new information. I wonder when like catch and release, that had to be the early 90s.
Yeah,
I think when we were kids,
mid-80s.
when we were kids, if we wanted to keep a
Mid-80s.
fish, we would eat it.
For sure.
You know what? It wasn't taboo or anything like that, but
No, I don't think
Yeah,
it's.
but
I don't
now-
think
but
it's
now
bad
we're
to eat.
seeing-
part of being at the lake.
But we're seeing
know?
the depletion of our natural resource. That's like
100%.
Well, I get
And
it
so I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat bass. Just because I wouldn't eat a bass doesn't mean somebody else shouldn't. But you should be eating a 14 or a 15-inch
right.
bass, not a 5-pounder.
No.
That's right.
You should be releasing that fish and really making sure that you take care of that fish, right?
Maybe we should change some slot sizes,
Yeah, maybe.
right?
Yeah.
Keep to 12 to 15.
It seems like
Yeah, but
all
that makes tournament fishing a little hard.
Why?
well,
'Cause you
somebody
can't keep a 5-pounder anymore.
Well, then maybe they would have to come
Maybe
up
we
with
need to deal with-
something for tournaments.
maybe we need to do something. Well, those tournament lakes that see all the pressure there, and they're not doing very well, right? They're honestly not. I don't know what else could be the factor in that, because they've always been super popular lakes because they're the biggest lakes. They've always had tons of pressure. I don't know what else could be. I really believe, so here, and we're going to get deep into this. I believe that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of fish that are roaming around lakes because they've been moved and they're trying to find their way back. I honestly believe that that's where the majority of the big fish are.
They're just on the move.
They're on the move. They're trying to find their way back. If you move 500 fish, they don't just stay there. And so I don't think it was as big of a deal 20 years ago when they were using 18-footers and a 150 was a huge engine.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
These fish are coming from far.
Well, and that
Yeah,
proves
yeah.
it from that Queen's University tag.
They're
from
going
Belleville
back.
to Kingston.
They're going back,
Yep.
right? We don't know that. So,
And how long did it take?
and we don't know which way he
2
went.
years.
Did he go through the Murray Canal? I mentioned this to somebody, and I was like, he must have swam down the Murray Canal, or he swam around and went Lake Ontario way.
That's a tour.
That's a tour, right? He could have, for all we know, he could have just got there, and I flipped a jig into his house, and he was like, "Oh, snot! I hope he doesn't move me."
Right.
Just got back, right?
Here
So,
we go again.
I just moved back in.
So the
I pictured Tom Hanks on that.
You're
desert
never
in Canada.
home.
I'm the dumbest fish.
like, let's think about it. Four or 5 years ago, Marley and I fished an opening weekend tournament on the St. Lawrence. We blasted off in Brockville, and Marley and I ran to the tip of Wolf Island. Like 126 miles each way, or kilometers. Like, it was crazy. It took me an hour and a half to get down there at 65 miles an hour.
Yeah, that'd be kilometers.
Right? Loaded the boat up with 5 giants, like 26 and change. Turned around, drove back. It's quite possible those fish are still trying to find their way back there. Now, if you and this is just my opinion, I got no facts. If you did this multiple times, let's say you run from Bewdley and you run all the way up to the Tonabee River at Loch 19, you flip into a tree, you grab that largemouth and you drive them and weigh them in Bewdley. Then you dump them off the ramp, or even if you took them out in the middle of Bewdley Bay, would that fish, I think, is probably in 20 feet of water trying to find out where to go. So if you do that 500 times every single weekend, how much of the population of fish is wandering around the lake trying to get back to where they were? And I don't think that it was as big of a problem 20 years ago, because the boats you couldn't run 126 kilometers.
Yeah.
Right? You
I can't.
do you know what I mean?
half that.
You couldn't make that run. We didn't have 250 horsepower engines. Boats are getting faster and faster, and you can run further and further. And I think that after a long time, think about how many fish have left the Scugog River and went to Port Perry. 5,000 over the last 5 years?
Easy.
Do you think?
Easy.
How many?
How many went to the dinner table?
Well, how many of them made it back to the Scugog River? Because the Scugog River used to be awesome, and now it's like pulling teeth trying to get a fish out of there
yeah, it
sometimes.
is.
Yeah.
So I don't have any facts, but that would make sense to why this is happening, right?
Yeah. Well, the next 10 years really scares me, because this year fishing has exploded. Exploded.
It has. It has.
If 10% of those new licenses
Stay?
continue to fish, it's going to be crazy.
So here's a perfect example. I went to take Ash Sunday,
Yep.
Saturday.
No, Sunday. No, Saturday. You're right.
Saturday, because there were storms on Sunday.
Yep.
We were just gonna have Dad and Sunday go out and catch some fish. So he's going to take him to West Lake, which is full of 2-pounders. He would have caught 100 of them on Senkos.
Yep.
We would have got anywhere near the pencil reeds. He could have caught a ton of fish. As soon as I got across the Murray Canal, there was thousands of cars, tourists, and I knew I'd made a big mistake. I got to the boat launch at West Lake, and Ash and I waited in my truck for 40 minutes to just turn around and leave, because there were so many boat trailers and people there and People who had brand new jet skis, like bought this year,
Yeah.
didn't know how to back up. And I'm talking that we couldn't even have parked. If it was not an option to fish that lake. We went to East Lake, same thing.
Wow.
When you pulled up to a stop sign, you'd wait 10 minutes. There were so many cars because they're down there for wine country, right? And I was like, so I had to take Ashton all the way almost back home to, we fished Brighton Bay, which is not a kid-friendly area. Like, you really got to, it's not kid-friendly. There's not a ton of 2-pounders to catch, right? Like, we caught a couple fish, but it was more of like a hangout and chat time than what West Lake would have been for them.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe how many people were there. So what, where did all these people come from?
Well, they can't go to Burley Falls.
No, that's true.
Why? What did I miss?
Burley Falls shut it down.
Did
They
they?
had problems with people coming and turding on the rocks and leaving their
that's
garbage,
everywhere right now.
fighting. So they just
there's
they
a lot
shut
of
it
people
down.
at the water's edge, man. I almost fed 2 jet skiers their own jet skis last week.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you told me the
they
story.
They came real close to eating them.
I don't think they're, and there was no fault of anybody. I watched the guy, his 2 buddies, pick the jet ski trailer up and walk it behind the van because they couldn't back it in. But all the jet skis and trailers I saw are brand spanking new. They're not used ones. Like there's not a mark on the paint. They're brand new license plates.
Yeah.
Like these are been bought in the last couple months. So this is just something sorry.
He's looking at his pulley outy thing.
Well, I got to order it so that we can get it here. At East Hill, a gentleman came in. He didn't seem like a $500 combo guy, right? Like you can tell somebody who's going to spend big bucks. And I'm telling you, more people have spent. We don't have a ballistic or a Tatua in the store, right? It's been
one for the dog.
The dog just got one.
It's been crazy. People seem to have extra cash flow. So I just happened to ask the guy, young guy, $500 and something on a combo, and then probably another $400 in fish and stuff, like it was nothing. And I asked him, and I said, I'm not trying to be rude. I was like, I'm trying to understand where the extra cash flow come from, because you don't seem like a $500 combo guy. He said, I got 2 twin boys that both play rep hockey and rep baseball, and they ain't playing.
Yep.
He said,
I'm saving us ton of cash.
he told me he has $20,000 spare cash.
Yep.
Wow.
Really,
Yep, from the sports.
And he doesn't have, and he wouldn't normally have this money, but if I'm going to buy a rod and reel, I'm buying a rod and reel for life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
Lineups at the East Hill for fishing licenses.
Yep.
Kids like who I never thought would fish, and they're telling me, well, I got nothing else to do. I'm going to buy this $100 combo because my dad's got a bow rider, and I'm going fishing.
Yep.
Because I can't go to the sports games. I can't go do this. I can't go do that. I can't go anywhere.
Yeah. In the last couple weeks, like I fished Chandos, Lower Buckhorn, Limerick, Belmont, Quinny, Simcoe, and today I fished Potash, and I have seen so many kids fishing.
That's awesome.
Fishing.
Now, do you have any tackle left?
Yeah, I got some.
I seen
got
my
some.
neighbor's
Sean
picture
gives
of my
away all
neighbor's
his
kid
tackle.
on Instagram. He was casting, practicing his casting in the backyard.
Nice.
Ordered.
Oh, that was really
Ordered.
Cool. I'm gonna bring him some gear over.
$1,600.
Huh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ordered.
Is that American?
Canadian.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Is that plus tax?
No.
That's
yeah,
another
probably.
$3,000.
Yeah, but the kids aren't playing rep anything. I'm getting a truck.
That's
liner.
awesome.
Well, here's the thing. Like I
Don't
worry.
kid yourself. They didn't play rep before.
And what about daycare? People gotta be saving.
I'm
money
saving
from
huge money on daycare.
Right? So
Huge
there's
money.
daycare money. There's sport from the kids' money. Yeah, there's money out there.
Yeah, I mean, usually
I'm
plays
good, yeah.
every every summer.
Yeah.
And every winter. but-
Ash's soccer's canceled. Not that it costs very much, but there's nothing. You can't take them to do anything. We're not spending any. Like
We saw baseball on the way here.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, they're playing at the park
games,
now.
yeah.
But you can't travel.
Kids.
Can't travel.
Right? You can't get on a plane. You can't go anywhere. You can't go to the States. You can't really play sports like the hockey. There's no hockey. There's
No, nothing.
Like we just seen baseball. I don't think soccer's going yet, or
No.
it might.
They've been playing baseball down at the park because I've been taking Casey down there to get used to not bugging people, right? Like even though you're off leash, she's not allowed to walk up to somebody just because she wants to, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's got 3 commands: come, never mind, which means leave it alone, don't bother with it, and let's go. Is when she's dawdling. Let's go means get out in front. That's where the birds are. So the guy who it's not, baseball isn't open. It's like a guy running baseball, and you can show up if you want to get some practice.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy,
there's no games.
there's no
It's
games,
just all
right?
practice,
It's just
right?
Oh, yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to keep the kids in shape, kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
Give them something to do.
But where do you take Ash? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can't take them to Deb's Fun World or
No.
anything like that.
They're doing
or,
a huge addition on that, eh?
Are
They're
they?
putting on it.
Well, this
they're
would be the
putting
time
in,
to do it.
They're putting in a roller
Go-kart.
rink. No, roller rink.
Roller.
Oh, roller
No
skates.
way.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So,
For real.
like, that's where the extra
reals.
that's where the extra cash is coming from, and it's not just our store; it's all across the board.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm getting messages from people about Daiwa who aren't coming to Eastdale. They're going to their local dealer in Florida, or Hamilton, or London, or Alberta, or Nova Scotia. Like, this is a booming market. So if you went back and you watched podcast in March, I was really upset that the whole year was going to be wrecked.
Yep.
And whoever thought that fishing is making out like a bandit right now?
I'd be interested to see what Sport Check's quarter is going to be like. I bet you it's just hurting. Sport Check? Hockey.
The store?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they got clothes and shoes and stuff.
But you can't go in
that
there.
Stuff. You can go in there.
Can you go in the malls now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on the malls now, but
Yeah.
why like you're not
No,
going to go
you
in there and
can't.
buy
No,
any ball
there's
glove? You're not
can't
going
buy
to go in
anything.
there. You're not going to
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't go. I haven't been to the mall.
Yeah.
People can, but you can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Outdoor recreation in general is up like me. I bought a bike.
Yeah.
For the first time
Ian
in
tried to
forever.
find a bike. He
Yeah,
couldn't
can't find one.
There's a worldwide shortage on bikes. You can't get them.
Yep. How'd you get yours?
I even asked to buy Woody's old one. He never got responded.
My buddy Scotty Freeburn, he bought a couple of kids' kayaks on Facebook the other day on the bidding wars thing, and it was a bidding war. It's like people set their timer for $7.59, and there was, I think, 3 or 4 of them going after
Really?
these kayaks because you can't get them anywhere for kids. Like everything's gone.
No, yeah, it's gone.
Right.
That's too bad.
like,
I just sold to him.
Yeah, he pulled out the big ones and.
Did he?
Speaking of kayaks,
had me go
shout out
pick 'em
to
up.
Kyle Crothers in his 8th place finish there
Well done.
on
sir.
Kuchiching
Nice,
out
Kyle.
of 66 people.
Kuchiching, that's another.
And a
lake
big
I
shout out
fished
to
the
our
last
buddy
couple weeks.
John Dean for winning the
Winning, he won.
Yeah, he won and he
You
ran
know what?
the
And
tournament.
he ran the tournament, and that guy is well deserving of all the hard work he puts into this to pull off a victory. So
Well
big
done,
shout
John,
out
if
to
you're
Mr.
watching.
Dean.
He does an amazing
Congratulations.
job putting those together.
He does
He
a
does.
ton.
I would like to try it, I think. I'm just put off by the price of these things.
That's quite the command center he's got for that kayak.
All right.
Oh, man, he's got everything. He's got twin power poles on it. He's got Garmin's, I believe.
It's the real
Oh,
deal.
yeah.
It's the Cadillac of Cadillacs
Yeah.
for fishing kayaks.
It is.
It's
quite the
probably
ride.
like 18 grand.
You think he spent that much on it?
I think all
I believe
said and
Crothers
done,
is
it's
around 10.
Yeah,
and Crothers
it's
is in
around
that
18
John
grand.
Dean level.
Yeah.
That's
His is real
incredible,
deal.
eh?
I think he's got a trolling motor on it too, doesn't he?
I'm not sure.
No. You're not allowed to use trolling motor with the OKBT stuff.
Oh no.
Do you have questions, Aaron?
But you can for
I
bass.
did, but
I learned that the other day from John,
internet's not
actually.
working.
What?
The internet's not working.
Oh.
What?
It's working because we're streaming.
Cool.
Well, my iPad's broken then.
Jamie Stevenson Van Bammel says he's got an extra hope if you want to try it, Mark.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Hey,
I'm going to try too.
I just
I'd
found,
love to try it.
I just found Kyle's rig here.
Yeah,
There it
Look at
is.
that thing.
Look at that.
it's awesome.
Obi.
Like, that's a kayak.
That's a kayak. That's more than a kayak.
Wow.
Where's his net?
That thing looks like one of those things off Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah, it
he's-
does. A
He's gonna
pod
put
racer
a
or
helmet
whatever.
on there.
Yeah.
And,
Dun, dun,
away he
dun,
goes.
dun, dun,
That's what the ones with the
dun, dun.
Ewoks are in, right? They're
Ewoks.
ripping those through the
yeah.
through the
so
forest.
cute.
They've come a long way. And they're
Ewoks?
affordable. No, kayaks.
Ewoks, yes.
Ewoks. No,
I've been
Ewoks.
looking on like Kijiji and Facebook
I'd like a
and
paddleboard.
stuff like that.
I will.
But they're
so,
like $3-4 grand for
so
the one. That
Kyle's
I like.
got me convinced that I need one of these to go duck hunting with him.
Why not?
Was this
Wow.
his 8th place fish here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, he's a
Attaboy,
beauty.
Kyle.
Very nice.
He's got big things happening this fall too that he'll kill me if I talk about.
Might as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
No, I really can't.
I heard about some of those things too. We could talk about some of them.
No,
got questions.
not the one I know of. Oh, you got questions? Fire
Jim
away.
J. Port Hope gonna open for salmon this year?
I would. My bet is no.
Not likely.
Not likely.
I'm pretty sure that the townspeople are really happy about the river being closed and
It's open right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
They want the river. Most of my.
But they'll crack down on the salmon fishing so fast. This is a great excuse.
Yeah.
But so here's the kind of the problem. So with salmon, salmon are like their own worst enemy. So we don't want people killing the fish, except kind of in salmon we do. Because if you let them run that river, so they're already polluted and they're wrecking Lake Ontario, in my opinion. It's a catch and release. So, all right, let's get back to the original history because I know quite a bit about this. In the 70s, early 70s, they stocked steelhead. And in the early 80s, they had the most amazing steelhead. I mean, the river here that gets a 6,500 run used to be like 28,000. You could go down there and catch as many as you wanted. So then they come to the town of Port Hope, and the MNR promised that they're going to do Chinook salmon because there used to be a huge LY problem. Like the beach would be covered.
Yep.
Well, Chinook salmon live to be 4 years old, and they go from 0 to 40 pounds in 4 years. They are
insane.
feeding machines. They grow faster than kids, right? And then they go up the river and they die. The whole reason why they were stocked is there was a promise that these fish would never, ever be able to reproduce. So they could control their numbers by stocking, right? So that it didn't ever get out of hand. So somewhere along the lines, in the thousands, natural fish started showing up. No cut fins.
No, yeah, no clip fin.
And the run gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And charter clubs at all the things keep stocking them, right? As much as we don't want to see people... like people have to take them out of the system. If you let those things run that river,
They're going to die anyways.
no, it's not only they're going to die, but imagine if 100% of the run gets to spawn. In 4 years from now, you're going to double the population of just this river's fish.
It'll screw the ecosystem.
And doesn't that hurt the steelhead?
Yeah, so the steelhead can't compete with Chinooks. Chinooks are bigger, faster. They eat more.
Aggressive.
They're more aggressive, and the steelhead numbers are dropping dramatically. And I think a big part of it is we have too many Chinook salmon and not enough food in that lake. So if anything, they should be dumping minnows in that lake. Don't stock any salmon. Stock bait fish for they have something to eat. So what happens when this run of Chinooks, whoever knows what this number is, like they're like the plague when they go up that river. It's black. The entire river from the lake to the dam is black. You could walk across them.
Yep.
As much as we don't want people making a mess, we do want people to take them home.
They make good fertilizer.
Well, they make good food as long as you catch them early.
Well, if you can't eat it all.
Well, you have to eat it all legally.
Yeah, legally.
You can't eat the head and the bones and all
For
that
sure.
stuff.
But we want people to take the fillets, and you got to murk some of them, right? You can't just let them all spawn.
Yeah.
They'll wreck imagine so they let them up into the spawning grounds where the steelhead spawn and all the natural brook trout and brown trout. Like, you can't just let 10,000 Chinooks up there.
Well, you can look at it like this. They reintroduced the wolves into the national park to control the deer. And after 5 years, they started to notice rabbits are back, right?
Yeah.
Mice are back because there's forage for them to eat. The deer, because the deer go through and they just eat everything from here and down. Like it's gone, right? So it's the same kind of deal. You really got to balance the ecosystem.
That couch is getting murked.
You think so?
Yeah, do you think you can just run up and have a look?
Yeah.
I
don't know if I want to, but sure.
I got a question for you guys from Chris Flay. And Chris Flay, I lost the other Chris Flay. Remember, he sent me a couple of chatterbaits. I've been using them all season. I whacked a ton of fish on those two baits.
Really?
And I lost the second
Who sent
one
us
today.
Who sent us the crankbaits you never gave us?
20 minutes. Oh, that was Bill.
I met him at Eastville.
I
met him at Eastville.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's giving me. When I met him at Eastville, he was like, "Tell Sean to give you those baits."
Bill Jones, he's a beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him.
Yeah,
at
no,
Eastville.
I got him like right before
COVID. Yeah,
and I got him at home on my shelf. There's some custom baits there for you.
So what was our question?
From Chris Flay, who's everyone's pick for the bass event on the St. Lawrence? He has Gussie.
I think Corey's going to win.
Corey, yeah.
I think Corey's.
Chris.
No, I think Corey's going to murk the field.
Yeah.
I think that he's like, he should have won last year,
Yeah.
right? He's been posting all kinds of stuff about his boat engine, right? He's been posting about his drags and his rails. I don't think there's anybody. He doesn't have to. The word's not prove himself. The word is that Corey knows he can win, and Corey's going to show.
He's got the tools to do it this year.
That's all he needs.
Yeah.
He's got what he needs.
I think he's going to murk the field.
I hope so.
Yeah,
That would be pretty cool. Eh?
Their Smalley game's on point right now.
Oh, it's always on.
Chris just weighed in 27 pounds at the.
I saw that.
Right.
Yeah.
The last CSFL event there.
Yeah. On some goal.
So let's hope someone. It doesn't matter. One of the Canadians. It'd be great to see them win. As soon as
We're gonna see our
I feel
first
like as soon
Canadian
as
elite
the monkey's off their back, it's going to be open the floodgates for them. It's always the hardest.
This
the first
whole
one.
northern portion.
It's good for them. What do you guys think about the events being like the whole season? Like 2 events have been canceled, 3 events now,
What do you do?
right? Like how does this work out for points for Classic? Right? If you're a Southern guy,
Oh, they'll go into the fall.
yeah,
They'll
I
still
think
have
it
the
goes
events.
October 14th, but they're losing events, right? If you're, I would be upset if I was a largemouth guy from Alabama, because you didn't even get a crack at the party, right? It was like one largemouth event and then north.
Hey, that's 2020 for you, man.
I guess
It's a
that's
kick right in the
2020.
dick.
Yeah, I guess that is.
And if
like
you're an
over-
elite, you should know how to catch smallmouth too.
Well, lots of guys have never seen a smallmouth. If you're a rookie on the elite series, you may never have even seen one before, right?
I learned so much about smallmouth fishing the other day when I had the chance to fish with Phil Haggerty. It was unbelievable. Like all day, the conversation never stopped, and it was just he's a wealth.
He's
of
a
knowledge.
dude.
Oh man.
Yeah, I like Phil.
Oh, we had
He's a beauty.
such a good time. So we're fishing. He's got the bronze back there, right?
Yep.
So we went out on Saturday and we just fished a couple community holes. I don't fish out there. He's like, "Come on, I'll take you and show you some community holes." Right? We can't really go to any of his water because there's a million people out there.
Yeah.
Right? He's got a big tournament coming up this week, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, "This is awesome." Philly's like, "All right, let's go." So we hit these spots, and he just starts telling me why these fish are here, how they're setting up, and what's going on, and just the way we fished, like, and we slowed right down, like slow.
Spy bait.
Oh,
Spy
dude,
bait slow. Is that where you're getting?
No, like boat moving slow. Boat trolling motor never went past 3, and that was it. Like we were slow, and we've seen some giants, man, and I hook into this one fish, fighting, get it in. It's a 5.5.
Okay.
Weigh it, snap a picture. I'm letting it go, and the bloody guy hooks a 5.6.
No way.
You know what I mean? I'm like, man.
That's funny.
Like, man, he's like,
Kind of like
"Oh,
what
yeah."
Jamie did to you today.
Oh man, yeah. I took my girlfriend to Potash today, and I'll tell you, it was the best day on the water I've had all year. I love her so much. She was amazing.
Yeah, good
today.
day, eh? I saw the
She
photos. It was
handed
really
me
good.
my ass.
That's awesome.
We get into the boat, and I'm like, "All right, babe, what do you?" She's like, "I want a Senko with a chartreuse tip," and I'm like,
Proud moment.
I'm like, okay. I got a pack of dingers here for you. Right?
There you go.
Right, we got a whole wall of them at East Hill. I got a couple packs off that wall, and I'm like, here you go, set you up. She wasn't 2 casts in, and she had a fish, and she started dancing and screaming on that back. That rod was bent over, and I loosened the drag up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah.
so it gives her a little fight, and you know, like smaller ones can run for her, right? And she was so happy. She whacked them today. She well over 10 fish. Well over 10.
Good for her.
That's awesome.
She's
Good for her.
better than me.
We got a double header actually, and hers was a little bigger than mine.
Woody, I'm
It was
going to
good
give you a
photo.
heads up. We're going to have a break in a second.
Sounds good.
And then what did you say? She said.
Right after
I'm
we
talking
get
to him on the phone.
right after we get the double header, right? Or she's got the bigger fish than me. We throw the fish back. She looks at me. She's like, "This lake is my bitch."
That's awesome. That's good. You have fun. It's good to get out on the lakes like that and just catch some fish.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're gonna take a woman or a kid, right, that don't fish, or a friend that doesn't fish, take him out, tie him on a wacky Senko, you know, and let them have at her. They're gonna
Certainly
have
don't
a
take
great
them to
time.
Rice Lake to catch smallmouth in 20 feet of water. That's not the way to get somebody into fishing. Was the couch okay?
No.
Oh no.
How bad on a scale of 1 to 10?
11.
Probably.
My guess is 11.
It is a pointer.
Well,
That
are you
was
talking
211.
about the previous
Yeah,
issues
did
as
she
well?
just-
Are we adding to that?
Did she add to it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Time for a break.
Here we go.
You got to
Yeah,
get those
here we go.
plastic sheets.
You got to turn this up to 12.
She doesn't care.
There we go.
No, don't do it. You got
do
to
you
give
mean?
her a warning shot.
Oh, no warnings.
No, right.
warning.
I don't roll with warnings, but I just rip one off you.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a quick bait break, not a bait.
The couch is bait.
We're gonna get back to questions and comments when we go, and we're going to talk about the fear fishing belt, and we are going to call the champion.
Okay.
This breaks my heart.
Aw.
I love it.
I'm so glad. She
I
was
love
the
we're
other
making
mistress.
a phone call right now. It would have been cooler just to look over at.
Ian
him, but
slept with that.
I
you
did.
slept with it.
Yeah.
I know. You can see the drool marks on it.
I can't believe I didn't win it. I was a little shocked. I
Or
knew.
brushing his teeth.
You know, so we're gonna come, but we'll set up. As soon as I missed that fish, I saw that fish as clear as day. I knew it was over. Like I watched the fish come from underneath my boat, miss, and he never, like the bait never, like I set hook out of like basically, what else do you do?
All right, well, let's talk about this after the
We'll
break.
be back, but
Yeah,
it
let's
was
talk about
tense.
this.
It was tense moments.
You're gonna get a ripping.
We'll get the champ on the phone too. We'll be right back. Questions, comments. Give this a like and a share if you're at it too. We good, Woody? Mike Carnegie is a financial advisor at Northstone Wealth, providing insurance solutions to protect you and your family. Investment solutions for all your needs, like your kids' education and your retirement. Get good advice from a good guy and also a fellow angler and trusted member of the Fear Fishing family.
Hi, I'm Mike Carnegie. If you want a little direction, give me a shout. 905-925-0663. See you on the water.
How did the Jack Lynx people find me? Look at this. Look at all the Jack Lynx. Just arrived on the water, loaded up for the rest of summer. Cases and cases of Jack Lynx beef jerky. I think we're ready for a little fall fishing. Nothing better than jerky and fishing. July 18th, 2020. Yes, that's right, folks. I've got it figured out. It is 2020. We're doing something very exciting today. This morning I got up at 4 a.m. and I thought I could go fishing, not out in the dying sun, because I heard today is one of the hottest days of the year. And my partner pretty much refused to get out of bed. So today is a special day. Somebody got a new Daiwa fishing rod, a brand new 5.9 RG walleye rod to be exact. And I want to take them out fishing. So it's 2:30 right now. We're hoping we're going to drive we're about an hour and a half. The lake, last club event we fished East Lake. Ash and I are west, so we're going to fish West Lake as an experiment. Dude.
What?
Dude.
What?
First fishing trip of the year. Are you excited?
Yeah.
You got a new fishing pole?
Yeah.
We got you sunscreen. We got you everything you could possibly need.
Did you bring the fishing rod?
I got the fishing rod for you. We got some jack links. You got the jack links buff on. Today is all about having some fun with Ash on the lake. I'm only bringing 1/8 of the gear I usually bring. We're gonna throw some Senkos and hopefully we're gonna catch some fish. So as always, we gotta gas up the rig. So let's get on the road. Hopefully it's not too windy there. And the Ash man can crush some. Are you gonna get a big one?
Yeah.
I hope so. Let's go. Should be interesting. We are loaded up. Ashman, we got cold drinks, we got gas, we got fishing stuff. You got a ton of snacks. Are you ready to hit the road?
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna go check out West Lake first, but if it's too windy for that, we'll go find somewhere else to fish. But we're going fishing, man. Are you ready to hit the road?
Mhm.
Okay, let's do this. Dude, get your seatbelt on. We are going fishing. We have made it to West Lake. Ash, it's crazy here, eh? We have traffic jam in front of us. Traffic jam behind us. We're not going to be able to use this launch because there's no parking, but we can't even get out of this mess to get back on the road, can we? No, we can't even get turned around. We're waiting for 20 people to launch their boats. This is craziness, isn't it, Ash? We got to find a lake. Maybe we'll just go to East Lake, that I fished last time for the club event. It's nice and close. Maybe there isn't 10,000 people there.
How far is it?
10 minutes.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's get it spun around and go. To boat launch so we can launch at. We drove probably close to an hour. Waited in line to get our boat turned around for how long, Ashton? What seemed like forever, right?
Yeah.
And then we drove 40 minutes back towards where we just passed to get here, where there wasn't 200,000 people.
There was only one people what I saw.
There you go. Put it in there.
Yeah.
To launch the boat. We're here at my favorite spot in the whole world. When I was actually driving by, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just take the Ashman here. And guess why we didn't come here?
What?
Because this lake isn't exactly easy to fish. There isn't a ton of small fish like those other lakes I was planning to take you to. But if you do get one, guess what's it going to be?
What?
A giant, a freak. We are going to launch this boat and get on the water because I've had enough of driving around. Dude, have you had enough driving around?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Fear fishing. Making moves.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
And we're relieved too.
Yeah, that
Much
worked.
relieved.
I can't believe we made it this far. Woody, this is post-COVID miracle.
Whoa.
Open your mouth.
There we go.
John just spilled
Old
his rock
silly
star.
drinks.
Spilly drinker.
We were so close.
We got Ashton's homework to clean this up.
Oh my. Okay.
What?
A+? There's no way that's Ashton.
Okay, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done, Sean.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Right.
All right.
Thank you.
So we've been doing a new thing this summer. We're not fishing a tournament series. We decided to fish the FearFishing Championship Belt. First event. Sean had to miss because you had prior commitments.
Yes.
We're on a limited time schedule this year.
Yep.
Because of COVID and other things. We headed to Shadow Lake.
Terrible.
Worst lake ever.
They got to rename it
to No Fish Lake.
You know what? You know what's amazing about that? I was talking to you guys
Ghost
that morning, and
Lake.
I was like, "Why would you go to Shadow Lake?" And I gave you Gull Lake. I'm like, "You're right up the street from Gull Lake.
Should've
Go
went
to Gull
there.
Lake.
We
It's a
should've went to Gull Lake.
way better lake." And Mark Hunter.
I'm
was
pretty
like,
sure
"Nope."
Marley knows Gull Lake pretty good, though. Struggle's
That's
real.
right. It was a lake that none of us had fished, and I think, yeah.
Yeah, but has Marley
One-
fished it in the last 3 years?
Yes. He goes camping up there. He's got a buddy who's got a cottage on the lake. I know that sandbagger.
Oh, so you
You should
cheated.
have disqualified him right there.
Cheater.
The first event, I took home the belt. I
it was a
won
terrible
undecisively
moment for
by
fishing.
4 pounds.
I was so disappointed.
It was
in
a
you guys.
sad day of fishing.
I was pissed.
I was pissed. We were all.
I
I was
sent
I
you
was
all
upset with the other
messages.
guys for not doing it either.
Yeah.
The
I could see me sucking, but come on, guys.
Somebody should have stabbed his tire at the other boat launch and just.
wouldn't have stopped me. I'd have dragged it there.
We should have just
The next
stayed.
event, we make the next event. Sean's able to make it. You guys camped out overnight because it's a busy weekend. Mercer took home the belt.
Yeah, he did.
He did really well.
I was handicapped that day.
Oh, come on.
Well, yeah, I was.
This is my fault, isn't
Sunburn.
I had the worst sunburn on the
it?
planet.
Yeah, you did.
So basically, it came down to Dinkfest, and Mercer got a good one.
Yes, he did. Very
And
good.
he
one.
came
At the
home-
end of the day, too, right?
Yeah,
So-
he hung out the big one of the day.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Andrew on the phone right now. He is the defending champion of the FearFishing belt.
He better be washing my belt.
I'm winning it back. Here we go. We got him on the phone.
It's pretty high tech.
I was just gonna say that. So high tech here.
If he gets out of hand, I'm gonna. Yo, what's going on, champ?
Not much.
Welcome to the show. You're live on the airwaves of FearFishing.
Oh, so I can't swear.
Hey, you can swear if you want.
Oh, sweet.
The how's it feel to be the champion?
Same as any other day.
If anybody was like the, he's not a smack talker, eh?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He
He's,
doesn't have
he's
it in
too
him.
humble. The
I know what it's like to suck, so.
I'm not used to it.
I know what it's like to suck, and I still talk as much.
Yeah,
smack
so
as
do
can.
I. I know I'm gonna.
That's
I'll probably
part of it.
won't take the belt home, but I'm gonna act like I am.
So here's the thing with the belt. We've got 4 events, 6 guys, 2 guys, if everybody just won once, are going to go the winter, and it's going to be real hard on them.
Yeah.
Because if you're not a champion, me and the other 3 guys, bare minimum, are going to let everybody know who didn't win one.
Right.
Mercer, do you feel relieved that you will not be that guy?
No, that doesn't bother me because I know I'm going to win the next 2.
There's some smack talk.
He's got him warmed up. So it basically, you had 1 really good fish and 4 that were just pitiful. What did you get the big fish on?
What? Jackal cover crop, 3-inch.
No way. So here's the interesting thing. Earlier in the day, I thought I had a good spot. I ran back to where we blasted off.
Yeah.
I watched that fish come from under. He wasn't even on. So I thought they were on the grass because I got
I've
a
seen
couple.
you go.
Right? I thought that's where I'm going. There's cover there because it didn't take me very long to figure out that if you could find some eel grass or pads, there was something there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you could find any kind of cover, there was a fish on it. It was just probably 9 inches. Right? So the fish, I was just working down the shoreline because I was getting them the bump on frogs. I watched the fish come from underneath the boat off a log, like hit the frog, but he didn't have his mouth open. He never put the frog in his mouth. He just nosed it, and then I watched him shoot back down to the log.
And how big was this fish?
4 and change.
Lies.
Lies. Conversation on the
If he
way.
had been a high,
Dicks all day. It wasn't.
if he had been a low 3, I'd have won. Because I had one in my bag that was probably not even 8 ounces.
I knew you were on nothing all day because every time you ripped by, you looked at me and you were like, "Woo!" And I'm like, he's got shit.
Oh, well, as soon as I realized what was going on, I knew this was going to come down to 1 big fish. Whoever gets one here over 3 pounds won. Because everybody's
Did you
going to
not
be
drive by me and say you had like 15?
Yeah, I did. I drove by him and told him I had 17 and change.
Oh, that's a dick move.
At like 8:30.
I had a limit by 8:30.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Not me.
So the funny thing is that where Andrew caught the big fish was right across the bay from where I missed the fish.
Yeah.
And
Right
you said
back
he was
where we
right
are.
on shore, eh, Mercer?
Yeah, he was tucked right up on the shore.
Which I wouldn't thought. Like I thought when we were headed to the lake, I thought we were gonna have big milfoil beds and 8 to 10 feet of water, and then
Good luck.
there was no weed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bowl.
I found an incredible weed patch in the middle of a bay, maybe the size of my pool.
Yeah.
I threw the dinger into her. First, bam, there's a fish. I upgraded. Second, there's another fish. I upgraded. Third, maybe a 3.5, and I don't know what happened. It just boom. So that's I would have won.
Lies. I knew that it was real
I would've
tough.
won.
I knew that it was real tough and everybody's a hard time as soon as I
Mercer?
saw Marley driving the boat back and forth. Because if he was on fish, he wouldn't
You were
move.
doing some running around.
Oh, man, I went to a whole nother lake.
Mm-hmm.
Down some like rapids and rocks.
I seen you ripping all day. I got a question here from Jim Allen. This one's for you, Ian. Do you think you would have kept the belt if you have had Mark train you on how to use the dingers you found on your boat?
100%.
I didn't wacky rig them though. I was Texas rigging them.
No, doesn't matter. Still a dinger.
No, that was desperation.
Still a dinger flinger.
That was desperation. I thought if there's any stupid bait a 4-pounder I'll eat, it's this stupid thing.
Yeah, but this isn't the first time we found dingers.
I got lots of dingers in my boat.
See?
Yeah. But they're usually
on your rod.
This is the thing. Dingers are real cheap too. So
They are.
If you're gonna go through a ton of baits, the dinger's the one to throw.
Oh yeah.
And if
That's
it's
why I
and if
throw
it's
them.
really hard fishing, you know what I was throwing it on? A 1 32nd ounce tungsten weight, not pegged, and just trying to throw it as far away from the boat and drag it and praying. Most of the day I spent praying.
So you're using my rig too.
No, but I didn't have it wacky a Texas rig.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't steal your rig, Mark.
I'll never
sounds
ever
pretty
go
good.
back to that lake.
I won't either. I won't go back to the other one too. So
No, there's two,
here's
there's two
the other
lakes,
thing.
2 challenges, 2 lakes that we're scratching.
Here's another thing.
What's the next lake?
We don't know yet. But here's another thing. I thought that we would go to these northern lakes and pound fish and have a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
time. It is not like that at all. These northern lakes are like
We should think about going to the lake that we originally decided to go to
And doing the 9 to 6.
No, do the 9 to 6.
9 to 6. I think we should go there. I saw like a lot of people send me messages, and that lake's got hogs in it.
9 to 6. What do you mean? 9 in the morning?
9 in the morning till 6 p.m.
Okay.
I think that's what we should do because they close the boat launch. They don't want anybody fishing on
Oh, I got you. Yes.
But I was going to fish that lake this week, actually.
it. No,
Not now.
no,
Okay.
not now.
All right.
I would think, Andrew, would that work for you?
Yeah, that works for me.
That I saw some pictures from that lake.
And
There's
we're gonna
legitimate.
do the 9 to 6.
And we'll
at
do
that
9 to 6, but
All
I
right.
saw legitimately like guys holding
We're just
four
gonna call it Lake X. Right?
four
we are.
4-pound largemouth and a 5-pound bucket. Like I saw lots of pictures, and people were telling me it's a great lake. It's just you got to deal with the launching issues.
That's fine. No problem.
I think we should do 9 to 6. Marley would
when
be down
we
for
were
that.
we were fishing. What was the last one we did for that Andrew one? What was that lake?
Limerick.
Limerick. I
Don't
came up
go
to a guy.
there.
Yeah, I came
It was
came up to a
Lake
dock.
Andrew.
Came up to
Lake
a dock. It was a
Andrew.
bass boat in the slip in his dock.
Yeah, I
And he
fished that
came
dog.
out and he told me there was no smallmouth on that lake.
Who?
He said there's no.
You guys
smallmouth
weighed
on
in
this
smallmouth?
What do you
lake.
mean?
I weighed in too.
I had
Some
a
guy.
little.
I never caught a single
Says
smallmouth.
it's
on
all
that.
it's all largies. On
I've
this
probably
lake.
caught 30 smallmouth.
Mercer, you
Now, what
fished
did you
that lake a
call it?
long time ago. Was there big fish there?
Yeah.
It's been cleaned out. We were talking about guys keeping them.
Well, we picked up the
So you
Hog
cheated
Town-
for your win.
The yeah, he did. He totally brought that fish with him. We picked up the Hogtown whiteboard that was left up there from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And was it 20 pounds won the tournament?
Something like that. Yeah.
And 18 pounds was second?
It was a couple 18 pounds, I think.
And it was in the fall.
Yeah, it was. It was in October.
So
You know what we're going to do after we hang up the phone with Mercer? We're going to call Carnegie.
Are we?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be awesome. You think he'll answer?
The champ and the guy that came sixth.
Maybe we can get what he was using.
Yeah, don't.
He did a whole bunch of smack talk before this event too, eh?
Yeah, we came second in the first one, right?
He did all right in the first one, not the second one. Mercer, how's Mercer Marine going? Let's get an update on that.
Oh, pretty good. You know, we're pretty busy.
Yeah, you're trying to keep it under wraps?
Yeah, trying to.
You did Matt's boat? You got them Garmin's on?
Yeah, I just finished it tonight. Sent you boys a picture. It
Yeah,
turned out pretty nice.
it turned out really nice. That's a super clean stratus he's got, eh?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
It's not like that other stratus you work
Not
on.
like Ian's.
Yeah.
Mercer, I may have to pop by sometime this week and have
Would
you
you
look at my
break?
graphs.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
Just getting them linked together. I'm having problems linking them together and like.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty much a Garmin Lowrance expert. Hummingbirds. You just
So I
Oh,
called him a couple of weeks ago from work to ask if he could hook up a guy's thing, and Andrew was like, I had him on speakerphone too, and he's like, absolutely not, I don't have time for this, and hung the phone up on me. I looked at the guy and I was like, just give it a couple days, he'll change his mind. I was like, he's gonna need some fishing stuff, and then this is gonna be your way in.
This is the soft opening.
Yeah, this is just a soft open.
He likes you. I think he likes you.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Don't worry.
That's awesome.
That was it. I was like, that wasn't even like an angry response.
You know what? How many people want to fish for this belt?
Oh, hundreds. I've got hundreds of messages.
I don't know.
I've even had a client
I
ask
don't even know
me.
hundreds of people, but
So
How
many
do I
guys,
get into that
It's
belt?
unbelievable.
so many guys want to fish for this belt.
We may open it up someday. It won't be this year, though.
That was a brilliant idea.
It was a good idea. It's going to be fun. I think the next event is going to be at the end of August when Marley frees up, and then we'll do.
Because it's the ultimate smack talk series.
It is.
it is. It never stops.
No.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
lay in bed when I was the champion, just be like, it doesn't matter, they're losers. It doesn't matter, they're losers.
But you still felt bad because you knew you weren't the real champ because I wasn't.
Yes,
at that tournament.
Yeah, how'd you do the last one?
Yeah, it
Second
wouldn't have
last?
mattered.
I had a sunburn mark.
Second last or something?
I had a sunburn mark.
Yeah,
We're
great
up at-
excuse.
We're up at
Yeah.
our campsite, and he goes, I'm not.
Is there any questions for Mercer before we let him go?
Oh, Mercer.
Champion, where's
Hey,
the belt
well
right
done,
now?
buddy. Well
Where's
done.
the belt right now? It's probably in the freezer or something.
You know,
I don't know, in the basement somewhere. I don't know. It's buried under some clothes or a pillow or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
right.
Who cares?
He's probably wearing it right now.
Andrew, I
You
just,
know he is.
yeah.
Nothing but the belt.
So I have pants on. I'm wearing the belt. Who
He's
cares?
got the belt on, a thong.
Yeah, for sure. Just
Sitting
like
at
you
the
did.
pool.
Just like you.
Yeah.
Send us a photo.
Remember
Mercer.
where that was first.
You know what? I just got to say, as my whole career as tournament weighmaster, I
Yeah.
don't think there was a more beautiful moment than when you handed that belt to Andrew.
It was good.
How come we didn't get that on
You
film?
did. You actually shed a tear.
Listen,
I would turn.
I had
up
a lot
bit,
easier
turn
time.
up a bit.
I had a lot
It was
easier
joy.
time giving it to Andrew than I would have you.
Oh, shit. And you know what? He was a lot more gentlemanly than I would have been.
All right, Mr. Mercer, thanks for coming on the show tonight.
All right, thanks for having me, man.
Okay, we'll see you at the next event. I'm sure I'll see you before then, but we'll see you at the next event for sure.
Sounds good.
Anything you want to say to your fans before you go?
No, go somewhere else and get your electronics.
All right, my man. Have a good night. Say it to Bob
All
for
right.
me.
Later.
Bye.
Matty JJ wants me to tell my my sunburn story.
Go right ahead.
What a dummy.
You do that while I get Carnegie on the phone.
Yeah. So Saturday I fished with the Hastings Bassmasters and I fished with a buddy of mine.
He's on ready.
Jeff Tripp, and me, like it was a beautiful day. It was overcast. It was nice and cool, but still warm. I was like, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm feeling badass, right? I'm fishing, no shirt on the back of the boat, just rocking it. About 1:30 rolls around. Jeff looks at me. He's like, "Whoa, you want some sunscreen?" And it was at that exact moment I turned around and I'm like, I'm feeling a little burned.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I'll take some sunscreen. He's like, you're putting it on yourself. I'm like, no, man, that's not how this partnership works. I'm like, I cannot reach my back. Look at me. Like,
Yeah.
I he's like, all right. And he had a squeeze bottle. It wasn't a spray. So he sticks his hand out, and I was like,
Rub that in, baby.
I filled his hand.
Oh, no.
Like, filled it. He's like, what are you doing?
Oh, no.
I'm like, lather me down, big boy. I'm like, don't miss.
Did he do it?
Yeah.
Good partner.
So
Did you get the back of your legs?
So he's got to wait for it. Wait for it. So he's got his rod out, right? He's fishing at the same time, and he's got his other hand, and he's rubbing me down. He's doing my shoulders, my neck, all down my back. He's
my God.
He's like, I got so much, I'm running out of spot to do it. I pull my pants down a little bit. I'm like, don't forget right here. He goes, boom, and he gets a fish on. He's like, I've got a fish. I reached around with this hand and I reeled.
While he's rubbing your ass.
He was rubbing me down and holding the fish. That's teamwork.
That is a good team.
That's
Yeah.
a great story.
Yeah. Yeah, we smashed them that day. We caught, I don't know, probably 100 fish and weighed in 2 keepers.
Oh, no.
It was brutal.
Nigel McCain says he was up there last weekend and said there was a lot of fish in Limerick.
Little ones.
Yeah, but Nigel's a hammer, and we're just
Hey,
beginners.
how are you? I'm awesome. You're live on the FearFishing Experiment, Mike.
Oh, okay.
We just got off the phone with the champ, and we wanted to talk to the dud.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'd say some nice things, but I don't think that's good for the jail.
Yeah, we
No,
got.
is Mercer there?
No, he was on the phone. We just let him go to call you.
Oh, okay. Tell him to stop cutting in front of me when I'm trying to catch fish.
Oh! So, we found out what the winning bait. Mike, what was the losing bait? What were you throwing that day?
Everything you shouldn't.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Clearly.
Did you have fun though?
I did. It's always fun.
You didn't look like you were having fun when I seen you later in the day.
I was getting frustrated.
Just
I was getting
saying.
real frustrated. But that's what comes with it.
Hey, you did well in the first event, finishing up second place.
That's
Limerick.
because I wasn't there.
You guys just win. I'm gonna bounce around a little bit, but you guys are gonna be like, "What the heck just happened?" I was not expecting that when I beat y'all by about 8 pounds.
Yeah, well, we weren't expecting that when you got second place, let alone win.
Right, I'm unpredictable.
Mike, if you win one of the next 2 events, I will take you out for dinner.
All right, sounds good.
Where do you want to go, Mike?
I don't know.
Red Rice Buffet.
No, don't go to Red Rice. Oh my goodness, no.
But I'm just driving here.
Well, that's
What are you driving, Mike?
Yeah.
In Brooklyn, so I gotta get my daughter home here. I'm just driving. So.
Oh, your daughter's with you?
Yeah.
Did you tell her how bad you did at the last event?
I'm glad she can't hear you.
Oh, poor guy.
What are you driving, Mike?
I'm driving a car.
The Oscar Mayer Wiener?
Is it the new car?
Did you get a new car?
Today.
It is.
What is
What'd
it?
you get? What'd you get?
I'll leave that up to Hunter to tell you.
What is
He
it?
got a C8, the new Corvette.
Wow.
Oh, no
yeah.
way.
Are you gonna put a tow hitch on it?
Yep. I already had it done up.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Good plan.
You know what I would rather have than a new Corvette? 2 weeks with the Spearfishing Championship back.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. It's okay.
I'm going to have it all winter. I don't need it this week.
Anyway, Mike, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming on, letting us know how you did.
All right, thanks, fellas. Have a great night.
You
All right.
too, my man.
Ciao,
Bye,
buddy. Enjoy the car. Stay safe, buddy.
Bye.
I love that guy.
He is the
Yeah, he's a
happiest
beauty.
guy. He wasn't very happy at weigh-in the other day though.
Oh, because
No.
he sucked.
He was trying to get out of it.
I wasn't very happy at all that day.
And I wasn't happy either.
We stayed up there overnight.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah. We stayed up there. We got a campsite there, Mark, Mike, and I. And so I'm sunburned. It took me forever to fall asleep. I'm in crazy, crazy pain. 3:30 in the morning. Some asshat sleeping in his truck right beside my head decides to get out of his truck and unlock it from the inside without turning his alarm off, and just lights up the entire lake with a horn for a whole minute. Right?
Wasn't a
That's
minute.
why we didn't
It
catch
was
any
2
fish.
beats or
They were all pissed.
Here's the funny thing. They stayed over there they didn't have to drive super early.
So I didn't have to wake up. at
Sean
3:30 in the
Sean
morning.
was up before I was.
Right?
Not me. You were there before I got out.
He
of
talked
it,
to me
right?
the whole time.
Yeah. So 3:30 in the morning, I wake up and I'm like, all I can feel is my sunburn, and I'm like, Mark, I hate you. I hate my life.
Oh, it was Mark that did this.
I hate
Yeah,
this. I
it was
hate
my
this
alarm.
fishing. I hate it.
Do you have your keys in your pocket?
No.
No.
I
He just
got
unlocked
up
his
to
car.
take a leak, right? And I must have.
That's surprising.
I must have went to my head side. But
He-
Mike's boat was
He had to
there, so
lock
when I
himself
shut
in
the
his
door, it
truck
didn't
because he's
shut all
afraid
the
of
way.
bears.
So I went.
You slept in the back
at the
seat?
other- Yeah. No, I put the seats down or up, and then the whole thing. It was sucked.
He looked like a homeless guy inside of a truck.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Marley and I used to sleep in my truck all the time with our feet out the window. He would sleep in the front seat, and I'd sleep in the back. I had a Dodge with a fold-up middle seat. And Marley would sleep in the front seat, and I'd sleep in the back all the time, religiously. But we're so tall.
Sleep, Sean?
I'd have my feet out the window, right? So imagine
I slept like a normal guy in a tent in the back of my truck.
You should see these tents Mike and Sean bought.
Yeah, they are.
For Canadian Tire. You just zip it
They
out
look
of
like
this bag,
cocoons.
and it goes poof.
Yeah,
they look like cocoons.
If you don't step back, the thing's taking you out.
It
like
honestly
instant
looks
set.
like a cocoon for
That's
like
a pup tent?
Yeah.
Pup tent? Okay.
but it's more like bean shaped.
It's an
not like a
automatic
tent.
tent.
Like
It's
a
an
fully-
automatic
fully
tent.
automatic.
Same thing happened to Mike.
Yeah.
So that's how you thought you'd throw them off your game? You got up for a piss in the middle of the night and then hit the car alarm?
Well, if I was up, everybody was up. I just wanted to make sure he was up in time to make me a
You're
sandwich.
like, you should have your own.
What kind of
You should have your
It was
own
ham and cheese.
Nice.
On a
like
bun.
YouTube channel that's
Nice
like
fresh
fishing
bun.
with the Kardashians.
Oh man.
Because when Kim's not happy, nobody's happy.
Well, I waited till 4:30 in the morning, and then I phoned Mark.
Yeah, he goes, what you doing?
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like sleeping. I'm like, must be nice.
And then I hung up on
So
him.
here's the interesting. So I'm driving up there. We get on. Is that 62? That highway?
Yeah.
I pull up and there's 15 to 20 cop cars, OPP, parked on both sides of the road.
Uh-oh.
Right? And I thought, well, first off, I was like, it's a ride program, and I was like, well, 4:30 in the morning is a little early for a ride program.
Yeah.
And then I was like, these guys don't seem like ride program-ish kind of guys. So I pull up. The cop stops me. And I was like, how's it going? He's like, oh, it's going. He was like, I was like, is everything all right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, we just have to go in and apprehend somebody. Right? So I was like, oh, are you sure? Like, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah. If you play, what did he say?
You play stupid games, you
get
win stupid prizes.
So he was like, you can go ahead, just drive slow. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I get up to the next driveway, and it was like a driveway, but it was a couple miles long, right? Like it wasn't like a house.
drive.
It was, and there was about 20 to 25 guys standing in the ditch with full ghillie suits, face paint on. And they were going in to get this guy.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Right?
Exciting, eh?
It's so
So I
exciting.
got to the other end, and the road's blocked, and I was like, so the OPP officer who looked like a normal OPP officer, she's like, oh, they told me to close the highway, and she was like, you can go through, just go slow till you get to the other side of the barrier. And I was like, I asked again, is everything all right? And she's like, somebody's about to have a real bad morning.
Oh my goodness.
And it's about to go down right
It
now.
was like they were going in there to get, and they didn't have like honest to God, those guys had like AR-15s, and a couple of them had like legit sniper rifles.
Wow.
And it didn't look like full guillotine, full face mask. Yeah,
That's serious.
yeah. There was no playing around that morning.
Wow.
But it's good for them to be out there. Somebody's
Bright.
But do you know what I mean? Like
Where the bird catches the worm.
how many like if we didn't have I hadn't drove by and had a conversation. How often are the police out there dealing with situations like
lot.
that for us
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
have no idea
A
that
lot.
don't make the news?
A lot.
Right? It must have been a pretty serious conversation for them to be there at 4:30 in the morning to deal with this situation with those guys, right? So
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
Criminals don't take days off, man.
no, neither do those guys from what they seem.
Right?
Wild.
Yeah,
I blew a tire on the way there.
did you?
Didn't Marley blow a tire on the way home?
Yeah, on the way
Yeah.
home.
Oh, I should have talked to Mercer Marine. Turned around and gave Marley a spare. Well, I filmed it.
Yep.
Good on
Well,
him.
I filmed it because you didn't know how to change it.
I
So
gave
you
Mark
know,
a
here,
sandwich
this
on
is
way
the
home.
good friend I am.
So Mercer gave his tire to Marley.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like
Okay.
his spare.
Right.
So Mercer calls me and says, Marley's pulled over on the side of the road. Can you make sure he's all right? I don't know if he has a problem or if he's going to the washroom. I stopped Highway 7, like the middle of it, stopped right down, pulled up, put the window down and said, are you all right? And he says, no, I got a flat. And I said, well, I'll pull over and help you. And he's like, well, you better. There's 40 cars behind you. And I was like, well, I got to make sure you're all right. Right. And then I pulled over and I called Mercer and he was like, I'll spin around. I'll give Marley my spare.
Sweet.
And then we got him because
That's the
Marley
way.
was like being Marley and, I'll just leave it here and I'll come back. And I was like, man, this boat won't be here when you get back. I was like,
All that work. you
we
put in there, too.
we got to take it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "What?" I was like, "Do you think you could drive it we could at least get it off the highway?" And he's like, "I don't know. I don't know how long it'll last." I was like, "Well, do 20, and I'll drive behind you, and I'll stop all the traffic in Ontario." I was like, "It is what it is."
Mm-hmm.
So, but Mercer had a tire that had fit. We threw it on there, and we got him back on the highway. That's what you got to do, right?
I think it was 15 minutes, about 15 minutes from pulling over to going again, changing the tire. That wasn't bad.
You guys all stopped.
No,
Well, I had to. On the way there, I blew a tire.
I blew a tire last year, and I called Mercer on Highway 28.
I remember that.
And he had it from his house. He brought power tools. He had her off and on, and I didn't 15 minutes from his house to changing my tire to me being on the road.
That's a friend, man.
That
I
is a
can't
friend.
believe you woke
You know
him up
who-
at what time in the morning to come change your tire on the side of 28
Like
around the corner
quarter to
from
5.
your house.
But you know what, Andrew's not the real good friend. You know who the real good friend is? Kate, because he wouldn't answer his phone. I called Kate.
And Kate made him get out of bed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kate's a solid woman.
If Mercer didn't change my tire, Bob would kill him. And if Bob didn't, Ann would.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear Ann likes you a lot.
They're good people, man.
They're awesome people.
They're really good.
That's the only place in the world I've ever been to that'll fix your boat, cook you dinner, and let you watch the Blue Jay game.
On the back deck.
On the back deck.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, Kate keeps asking how come I don't come. I said I didn't know I was invited. She says,
I don't
every
want,
time.
I don't want to share food with you.
Yeah.
Ann cooks well.
Yeah, sure.
Ann took me. I've been in Ann's kitchen to eat ice cream bars.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they fixed my boat.
Didn't she
because it's
send
too hot
somebody
for
to go
Ian.
get? Didn't she send somebody to go get ice cream for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it was Andrew.
Pizza too.
And pizza. Wow. Wow.
It's the best place in the world, Mercer Marine.
Sounds like it.
It's awesome. Bob can cook too. Bob's got a whole outdoor kitchen. So you can,
It's unreal.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there, you know how people have outdoor couches?
And I'm telling you, there's lunchtime there.
Yeah.
That's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Shit shuts down, man. They're like, "Come on, we're going to eat." I'm like, "But we're like I'm
No,
not
no,
used to
you're-
stopping."
Yeah,
for
me
lunch."
neither.
No. You got to see what I cooked.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, we go in, sit down. There's a full spread. He's got the smoker going. He's got the barbecue going.
So on the back deck,
man.
big screen TVs. But you know how people have uncomfortable outdoor couches?
Mm-hmm.
Bob's got the living room couch out there. And a lazy boy.
Recliner.
I'm not even kidding you.
It's
That's
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really
all
nice.
This is the best place in the world. If you if you're like a 1%er and you can get your boat fixed there, it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
1%er.
I'm a 1%er.
That's the
Well,
closest.
apparently, I'm not yet.
That's
Not yet.
the closest I'll ever get to living Trump's life.
No, haven't needed them yet.
No.
Really?
No.
I've never took my boat there. That's something they couldn't fix. I've never even had to leave it overnight.
I've never.
Didn't Andrew get you all new lights
No.
too?
Yeah, he did.
Just
He
because.
Andrew got so sick of fixing my old lights. Andrew went and bought me new lights and then wouldn't let me pay for them.
Yeah.
I got LEDs.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
He's like, he was so
easier to
excited.
replace it.
Yeah, I can.
He was so excited when he got them too. Yeah. And then I was like, "Hey, what do I owe you?" And he's like, "Nothing. I just got sick of fixing your old lights."
Oh my God. Where do you find them?
They get hooked up. They're good guys. They're my favorite. That is my favorite place. You know, it's so disappointing.
The power poles on the back of Andrew's boat, they built those.
Yeah,
made them
out of carbon fiber.
They built them.
Incredible.
So two of them weigh
Incredible.
less than one of a regular one.
Oh, they're
So here's the
pretty
other
slick.
thing, right? You know when you go to any other marina in the world and your heart starts pumping real fast because you just know what's going to happen.
$1,000.
First off, yeah, and it'll be 4 weeks.
Right.
You go to Mercer Marine, there's a spread. There's a 1 in 5 chance we're having tacos.
Right.
And the boat will be ready before I
I've
leave.
heard a lot about
Dude,
those tacos.
we ripped my power head off, my exhaust housing, my lower end, redid the impeller. We did the swivel shaft and all the bushings in the steering shaft in 4 hours.
But they have
And did you eat?
reinforcements.
Oh, I seen pictures, man. That thing was stripped
and we
down.
ate. Yeah, there was no motor on the back.
Yeah.
of the boat.
And
We
like
rock
there's
and rolled.
reinforcements. Andrew's brother-in-law's there.
Yeah.
We had him right the bigger the job, the more people come.
Yeah.
It's
It was awesome.
It's like honest to God, all joking aside, it's really the equivalent of like a barn raising 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we all love
Rock
to do
picking.
that stuff.
Rock
Yeah,
picking
we do,
party.
yeah.
Right?
We're into it.
Yeah. We're all
yeah.
like, all right, what are we fixing today? What are we tearing apart?
I
What are
still say that you and Andrew should start McCall Mercer.
Yeah, I like
Mercer
I
McCall.
I would.
Mercer McCall Marine.
Yeah, Mercer McCall. I'd do that.
You know, it's a big job. I had to get Bob.
Just call it. Or you could just call it.
I had to get Bob to rewire my truck.
M&M.
we would be.
Marine.
Yeah. Marine.
I even have an extra battery there.
Really?
Yeah, just in case I need to because I'm constantly wrecking my trailer.
Really? That's weird.
So if they need to hook gator clips up to something on the boat to see why it won't work, I have an extra battery there. Not even joking. Yeah. It's a beauty, man. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, I got
anything?
lots.
Okay, let's fire through these.
Chris Fear wants to know what's going on with how your bass season's going. Sorry. And how are you enjoying being back behind the wheel with the Ranger, Sean?
I love it. Well, I've fished 7 or 8 different lakes in the last 10 days, 11 days.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm on it, and I'm gonna carry that on for the rest of the summer. I think I'm not gonna work too hard. I think I'm gonna spend this summer.
Pick and choose.
I think I'm gonna spend this summer pretty much fishing, and I'll
you
put
could
the
use
gears
the
on
practice
in the
I'm
fall.
just saying.
Well,
It'd be
that's
good for
the thing, right? When you're a window licker, you're a window licker
with the helmet.
and I'm licking windows.
Yeah.
Like straight up. So,
hey, big day for us today.
yeah.
Remember on the way here?
Yeah, it's our friendiversary.
Yeah, for anniversary on Facebook. 5
Oh,
years.
wow.
5 years. We're like
Wow.
we're like the nickel in.
Nice.
Do you have more, Em?
I'm just going through. They were.
Have you guys noticed the fishing's been? Do you think the fishing's been tougher because of the hot weather?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so. I had a really tough time getting shallow fish to go, even seeing shallow fish. Like everything in the last couple of weeks has been like 5.5 feet and deeper for me.
I haven't really seen a lot of fish cruising around. You usually see, your fair share, but I've seen a few, but not like normal.
Yeah, I got a 410 the other day, and it was like, I seen it.
Yeah.
I seen it. I bent down to pick up a rod, and it was gone.
Really?
And I was like, oh man. So I wheeled the boat out.
Yeah.
I came I stayed off it a little bit. And I started throwing the Punisher jig in there, and I whacked it. It was a good fish, but yeah, it was 5 feet of water, man. 5 feet of water, nothing beating the bank. Like everything's on that drop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. 100%. I think the
water is hot.
It's making it tougher.
Yeah.
You got more?
The water was 80 degrees.
Yeah. Fire away.
Aaron Russell wants to know if the OBN's going to do anything, being as the qualifier was canceled.
No, there's nothing going on for an OBN this year.
Opening day
Are
duck
you
hunting
sure?
for me.
Huh?
Are you sure? I would just say stay tuned.
Really?
I'm sure something may be going down, but I don't know what. There's no details yet.
Well, the team
Something
that
may
qualified.
happen. Something may happen for the weekend that the qualifier was supposed to be.
I'm going duck hunting.
But the team
I like shooting guns.
The team that qualified to go down this year is going down next year.
Yeah.
That's correct.
My
So there's going to be no actual qualifier because the team's already made from the people last
so
year.
there's
that
no qualifier.
One of the perks of working at East Hill is I get to go shooting at Mr. Kevin's house. He has 3 of the craziest skeet shooters I've ever seen in my life. This has become a weekly occurrence. We threw about 500 rounds through in about 2 hours last week.
Wow.
You know who was a heck of a shot? Russ from East Hill. He doesn't look like he would. So I've been doing 10 minutes a day. Russ's top tip of the day for I can get better at this.
Yep.
Russ can shoot. So you guys, Kyle came up with this, and I'm just throwing this out here because I'm going duck hunting opening day. What is it called? Annie Molly or something. So here's the game. You line up, 5 of us lined up. 1 shell in the chamber. You're all lined up. Skeets in the front of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put 1 chamber. Everybody gets 1 shot. So the first guy yells, Paul. If he misses the shot, the guy beside him gets an opportunity to shoot the shot.
Yep.
If he shoots the shot, that guy's out.
Yep.
And you just keep going through, right? But I got stuck beside Russ. So if I miss, I'm done, right? But what a fun time that is, right?
Yeah.
So you get so you shoot, you miss, and I shoot it, you're out till the next round, right? But if you shoot and I shoot and miss, and Sean somehow gets it before it lands, we're both out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Yep. See,
It was awesome.
We play protect the vehicles. We play protect the truck. We park our trucks behind us. Everybody stands in front of their own truck, and we use the hand throwers. And you throw them on that angle, it goes up, but then it comes right back down at you. And if you don't shoot it, it's going to hit someone's truck.
Oh God. Yeah, we're not playing
The
that.
best, the most fun part.
yeah.
So Kevin does more. I think Kevin enjoys the being the ski chucker more than he likes shooting, because he'll shoot if you bug him. But he has 2 remotes in his hand and a foot chucker, and you get up to the line, and Kevin's not worried about like you not using these, right? Like Kevin brings 700 clays, and he's certainly not afraid about like there's no like he shoots them. So like. You'll hear, and really, you got to be so fast that you're listening for what machine load.
Yeah.
Right? Because when one will come this way, one will come this way, and one will go out. But Kevin's like, "Are you ready?" Click, 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 boom, and they're all 3 of them are in the air. He's like, "What are you doing? Shoot!" But so this is how good Russ is. So Russ would be on like the side, and Russ would shoot everything everybody missed. Russ is unbelievable. Like competitive. He's been all over the States and stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah.
He's not the most agile man, but like I learned a lot from him in the last couple of weeks, just about like basically cover the clay up, lead, and about leading and covering the clay up and letting her rip. Like,
and you gotta have the you gotta have the right choke.
Yeah, for sure, that makes a big difference.
Big
What's
difference.
that mean?
The choke.
Your gun for what your spread's
yes.
going to be.
Gotcha.
But man, I had a great time.
Well, it sounds like you're learning from the right guy.
Russ can shoot. Crothers is pretty good too.
Ian can shoot.
I would imagine he would be.
Yeah, you can. So can I.
Yeah,
I'm a pretty good shot.
See, I
get nervous beside Russ because I'm like, man, I'm out.
That's how Mike feels when we're fishing.
Listen, on the sideway one, it had to be 50 yards away. It was this close to the ground, and Russ got it to knock like 4 guys out.
That's a shot. Any 50-yard shot's
like
a shot.
like it might have even been farther. Than
how far are they away when you're hitting?
So it's easier to shoot one. So if it's going straight away from you, it's the easiest one to shoot because you don't have to lead the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you can lead it by your like barrel, right? It'll fall into that.
Yeah.
Oh no!
The hardest one to shoot is the one that's coming at you. Like Kevin had one, so this one would go like way far, like a duck flying by. This one would go out like you'd jumped a pheasant, and this one would kind of lob up and come toward. That's the hardest one to shoot. The one that you think would like looks the easiest is the hardest one to shoot.
We have legit questions about where Merce Marine is located.
Give it up.
I can't. If you got like a serious boating issue and that has nothing to do with your engine, electronics, or mountain a trolling motor, you can message me and I'll see what I can do. But I can't promise anything. And he's probably not going to cook you dinner.
Bush Nerd wants to know when the tackle shop tour is happening.
I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't think
that was an epic idea.
Yeah, it won't happen this year.
No. It was an epic idea, but I think that we can probably do something else, but in a different way. But everybody should get out to their local dealer. Honest to God, like help the small guy out. The big guys are going to fend for themselves. And not even just Eastdale. If there's a local tackle shop, no matter where you are in the country or down south, go and pick your Daiwa and your Under Armour and your Hoyt and your stuff up there. Support the little guy, who needs help right now, especially in the States where they're out of tackle. Buy live bait, buy whatever you can, buy a coffee, anything to help.
Yeah.
Johnny Morris don't need your money.
No, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Right?
It's going to be a while till we can pack 60 or 80 people on a bus together.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think we should do. I think I got maybe a better idea too.
I don't think there is one.
Can't wait.
No,
unless it's a plane.
Something a little more exciting. Any more questions?
No. Well, they were all to do with at the time that you were talking about them.
About what? We can go
just
back.
Referring to other.
More comments and questions?
Yeah.
You got anything, Sean?
Somebody said, Inked Outdoorsman said, been fishing a lot of lakes up that way.
Annie Oakley.
Gavin McNamara.
And
Thanks,
almost
buddy.
everyone we talk to at the ramps or on the dock say they're eating the big fish.
Really?
Yeah.
Sad.
A lot of lakes up that way, he said.
Yeah.
No, there's a northern culture maybe. I don't blame. Like, you can't blame people. You're not breaking the law. I just don't know how we inform people. But it's the same as deer, right?
It's a conservation thing. They gotta do a conservation.
But it's like big deer. If you want to grow big deer, don't shoot the little ones.
Yeah.
And someday you'll have big deer, right? You get what I'm saying?
Works on
Takes
my
time.
property.
Yep.
It does take
Except for when Mark goes.
Yeah,
but I don't know. So here's the problem.
Remember that time?
Taste it.
And maybe this will be something we leave everybody with before we do final thoughts. If you, let's say you take a lake, you eat all the big ones, how do you ever repopulate that lake? The MNR's not coming to stock it for you.
They haven't stocked bass since 1988.
Yeah,
I
we did
believe.
something like that.
Yeah.
But so nobody's coming to stock it for you. The only way to do this is to basically make them catch and release lakes until somebody does it. And the only way you're going to make it a catch and release lake is for people who own, like that boat launch is the only one on that lake that the public can use. He could stop people saying, if you're going to kill these fish, you can't come out use my launch. Right? You could make
He could.
he could like, that's his legal right. It's his boat launch. So he could do, it's $50 up front to launch your boat here. But if you bring your boat back and I check your live wells and you got no fish, you can have $40 back. Right?
Yeah,
You want to
but
keep
he-
it?
Yeah, but what's he gonna do with the money? If it was going,
What's
back
he going to
the
do?
lake.
What's he going to? He's
Yeah.
going to promote catch and release, because if you want it, he can do that, right? Legally, you can charge whatever you'd like to use the launch.
It's his own.
And he's got
Yeah.
because he won't have a business in 10 years if it keeps going, because who wants to go to that lake with no fish in it?
That's right.
Very true.
Right? Like if you look at like
And it happens quick, man.
because if you go way up north to those fly-in lakes where they've really protected their resource and said there's no killing fish.
That's right.
Their lakes, they're 150 walleye lakes. They're 200 lake trout a day lakes.
Yep.
There's 45-inch pike like they're nothing in some of those lakes.
Yep.
And it's because they're protecting their resource.
Conservation works.
Conservation works, right? And if you they'll still have fish fries, but your guides will go out and take care of getting fish from other places or properly harvesting the right fish out of that lake so that they can conserve, right?
Captain Highliners.
I found more questions.
Fire away.
What's your thoughts on the whole Evinrude situation? Anybody know what happened?
They were just behind the times. They came out with a G2 that was a 2-stroke, and they should have been focusing on making a new 4-stroke, in my opinion.
Bombardier's famous for government bailouts and business stuff.
It was just coming.
No?
I don't know. I think it was just coming at some point. You can't be behind the times. You need to be of the future.
And I think they had a lot of problems with the G2.
They did, and Yamaha's had that 4-stroke
They
forever.
had a lot of problems with the HO too, the one that's on the back of but they figured that out, and that my motor's bulletproof, man.
I run an Evinrude.
I really like
too.
my Evinrude that I had, my HO.
I run an Evinrude.
I like my Merc. You got any more?
I can keep going back.
Yeah. If you got any questions, we got to make the people happy. We haven't done one of these in 6 weeks.
We have obviously a new watcher or new viewer. You guys ever do any musky walleye fishing on the Otonabee River? He just moved
From
into a
time to
place
time.
down the road. Watch the vlogs.
Yeah, watch
You'll
the
find
vlogs.
lots of info.
Walleye. Sean got a muskie that time.
Yeah.
I'm not huge into.
I've got a few muskie down there flipping a jig.
Working at East Hill, I've realized that muskie fishermen are a lot like drummers in bands and goaltenders in the NHL. Weirdos.
You're just figuring that out.
Yeah. Woody's a drummer, isn't he?
Yeah, Woody.
I play bass. I play bass.
Oh,
He used to be a drummer.
Right.
Slapping the bass.
I play bass.
The bass. I play the bass.
Nice.
Bass life and a whole bunch of people with guitars like my
Bass
photo.
life.
All right, I got up at 4 o'clock this
Are
morning.
we ready to wrap this up? Mark,
God.
final thought.
Be safe. I don't got nothing. Every time I don't have anything for the final thoughts.
That
I
dog
should really
jumped the
put
gate.
some. Okay, let's think. Respect other people's choice to mask or not mask, but mask.
Amber?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
There's like these anti-masker people. You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? If it takes 20 seconds to go into the door, put a mask on.
It's not
get
about
out.
it.
It's
It
not
ain't about you.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, guys. Just throw it on.
Oh, I
and
can't
do
get
it.
into this, but
That was mine.
I enjoyed spending time at home with the family, being a housewife for
Back
almost
to
4
the
months.
hustle now.
Yeah. I really liked being at home,
Nice.
cooking, cleaning, gardening. It was fun. I'm glad to be back, though.
Final thought?
Why are you laughing at me?
Nothing. I'm just the dog's outside the door, which means she jumped the gate.
Oh, and now you're wondering what the heck she's gotten into?
I could see the door moving.
She's trying hard.
Push the button.
Pointers aren't patient. She must be upstairs.
You're pushing the wrong button.
Final thought.
Push that conservation, man. Like
It is a big thing.
Don't be afraid to tell somebody, hey, you should be letting the big ones go.
Right?
And this is why.
like realistically, I totally agree, but I don't think they're ever going to force people to do a course to have a fishing license. So the only realistic way to do this is for everybody to share that information.
That's right.
Right? Word of mouth.
I
Old school.
was ignorant once too.
Word of mouth.
We all were.
Spread
Right?
the love about the fish. Release those bass. Don't go to hell.
And another one. Take your girlfriend or your wife fishing. I had a blast with mine today. It was awesome. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
That is good.
I saw some real cool pics of it.
Woody.
You're having fun.
Here we go.
Do things today that others won't, so tomorrow you can do things that others can't.
Oh.
Nice. I'm going to slap you and take the belt.
My final thought is be thankful for what you have. Don't be chasing unrealistic dreams and forgetting what you have right there in front of you. Have good friends, have good people, have good times. Life is short. Make the most of it. We'll see you in 2 weeks because we got the studio back. Woo!
Yes.
And even if you lock us down, we're not doing it on the Zoom no more.
Thank goodness.
See you in 2 weeks, kids. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe, like on iTunes. Rate us a 5-star. If you're going to give us 3.5, go the hell home. We will see you.
My sight, my soul, my heart, you stole with the lies that you told. Hoping I would never know you like your plan. Want me to be another man you control. But lo and behold, 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 behold. See that you might be confused. But I am not a fan of being used. For your greedy ways, your place will come to see its days. Believe me when I say that the people will unite as one. The fight is never done until the right has overcome and the wrong is washed away. See that you might be confused, but I am not a fan of being used. For your greedy ways,
A few hundred years, my soul was there, and now I'm here. Don't mean that I don't care. Some ain't sincere, some are fair, but when the power's clear, integrity is rare. But I ain't gonna sicko with the facts and lay down with no hope. Relax and enjoy to the max what you got where you at while they climb on a thin rope. But what they try to do is sedate us, teach us how to hate and separate us. Never really wanna tell it straight, just pretending what is great while they try to recreate us.
my soul, my heart, you stole with the lies that you told.